Well, welcome up into the booth. I am Seth Campbell, not joined alongside former Oklahoma State safety Dion Amade. Dion will be with us here shortly, but it's going to be a little lonely up here for me right now. But I will be giving you all this action. We are in Checotah for the game of the week and the Bravado Wireless game of the week between the Checotah Wildcats and the Cascia Commandos. It's going to be a fantastic game. These are two teams that, were battling for the top of their conference all the way into the last day of the regular season. Neither one of these teams really got I would say the result that they wanted at the end of the season, but they are here now, and they're wanting to play another week. That's the goal right now, as we were talking about last week on the Bravado Wireless game, that this is playoff season. Last week was starting it, and now you're into playoff season, and it's win or go home here in the the Oklahoma State playoffs. So you're going to have a fantastic game. And let's start really with how both of these teams got here. Starting first for the visiting Cascia Commandos, they had an interesting road here. There were three teams tied atop the 3A District 4. Those three teams were Berry Hill, Cascia Hall, and Verdigris. Verdigris ended up taking the 1 seed. Berry Hill takes the 2, and Cascia Hall will take the 3 seed. It came down to the final day of the season, and how it worked out was Cascia Hall, they lost to Berry Hill. Berry Hill lost to Verdigris, and Verdigris lost to Cascia Hall. So it's been a really roundabout way. They ended up going to points, and Cascia Hall comes out in 3rd place. Cascia Hall 7-3 on the year, 6-1 on the other side. Checotah's only lost 2 games all year long. They were to Eufaula in the McIntosh County War game that we were at. It was a fantastic rivalry all the way around. And then they also lost last week. They were tied for first in their conference, undefeated in conference going into last week. That's when they ran into Lincoln Christian, a team that is vying against Heritage Hall to be the best team in 3A. People think going into the Class 3A playoffs, but that's why we have playoffs, is to decide who will win these last 4 games and claim themselves as champions of Oklahoma's 3A playoffs. Well, now let's move on and let's just talk about some of the keys to the game. First of all, for Checotah and the Wildcats, man, their offense goes through Jacob Barrett. Barrett's going to be the quarterback in today's game. He's going to be wearing number 2. He's an Eastern Michigan commit, and he's going to play wide receiver at Eastern Michigan. But right now, the Wildcats really want him with the ball in his hands as much as possible, and so they are letting him take over as quarterback. And we've seen him earlier in the year. He started out not as the quarterback, and they were kind of struggling to find some offensive momentum, but he's taken over. And, well, as Jacob Barrett goes, so goes their offense. And wins where Barrett is playing in Checotah has won, they're averaging over 40 points a game. In losses, the 2 losses this year, they're averaging just under 20 points a game. So that's something to keep an eye on. If Checotah can get into that high 20s, low 30s range, then that is a sweet spot for them in this game. Meanwhile, Cascia, they go, as their defense goes, on the other side, they've only given up 8 points, average giving up 8 points in their last 4 games. Their defense is shut down, and then on the offensive side, they do score 39 points a game as well in those last 4 games. So they have been revving it up on the offensive side and shutting teams down on the defensive side. So make sure to watch out for that. It'll be a battle when Barrett is on the field to see if they can contain him. I was talking to head coach Joe Medina earlier in the game, and they said, you just got to stay within yourself, and you got to execute in order to take down Cascia Hall, and take down Checotah and take down Barrett. Now moving on, let's talk about some keys to this game. Head coach Chad Hendricks of the Checotah Wildcats came in, and he said there's going to be 3 keys. It's going to be execution. He said execution multiple times. So we're going to see how well the Wildcats can go out, how well they can really get down the details of the game. And he also talked about, it's about winning in the trenches. If you can block, if you can tackle, then you're going to be really successful in this game. And they want to win the line of scrimmage. If you can win the line of scrimmage and not have your running back or whoever's running the ball contacted until they're 2-3 yards down the field, then that is a key to success for the Wildcats. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, the Commandos, they want no turnovers. They don't want to give Barrett and the Wildcats extra chances. They want to make sure, head coach Joe Medina said they want to gang tackle. They want to have multiple people around the ball at all times, making sure that even if one misses a tackle, that somebody else is there to wrap up and bring the running back, the wide receiver, the ball carrier down. And then they also want to dictate the pace of play. He said if you're ahead going into the third and fourth quarter, then all of a sudden the clock is your friend. If you're behind, then it's not your friend, and you're going to have to battle that. So we'll have to see if they can dictate the pace of play. We've got captains on the field right now going for the opening coin toss, and this is big-time football. This is win or go home. A lot of emphasis is going to be put on every single play, and it's going to be magnified. Every single play is, and so these guys are going to have to really come focused, and I think a good word is execution for today. All right, well, that is the Bravado Wireless pregame. As you can see right now, that Checotah has declined their option to the second half. So Checotah defers to the second half. The Commandos will get the ball first, and we're just about set for kickoff. We're going to have a national anthem, a few festivities, and then toe is going to hit leather, and we're going to be underway here in the Class 3A playoffs in Checotah. We got a great matchup, as he said, once again, the Cascia Hall Commandos against the Checotah Wildcats. We're about ready for football. We're going to send it to break real quick, then hit the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have football here on Bravado Wireless.
You have a voice, a right to stand up against overpaying for data you don't use from companies that don't live where you live. We are Bravado Wireless, and we are here to answer your call for a better plan right here in southeastern Oklahoma. Now get 2 lines with unlimited talk and text and 14 gigabytes of shared data for only $64.99 a month, because costs should never stop you from connecting with those who mean most to you. We are Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
Be as loud as you can. I'm going to catch all the audio from you. I'll be live TV as loud as you can. So it's just saying, right now, yell at it as loud as you can. When we come on road, it'll be live TV. So
welcome back into the Bravado Wireless game of the week. We are in Checotah, Oklahoma, located just off the Interstate 40. You can see in the background there of the visiting stands, and that is the visiting Cascia Hall Commandos. You see run out onto the field, and now here come the Wildcats of Checotah. Checotah, the hometown to Cary Underwood. They make sure you know that as you're driving in on the interstate. We're set for a really good game. As I said, both of these teams had an opportunity to finish first in their district all the way into the last day of the regular season. Checotah traveled to Lincoln Christian, ended up losing to Lincoln Christian, so they settled for second place. And then the visiting Commandos of Cascia Hall, they came in to the last game. They knew if they won that last game, they put themselves in a good spot. They would be 6-1 on the year, and they ended up winning that game. It was made a three-way tie for the top of their district, District 4 and 3A. Ended up going to points, and the Commandos didn't get the result they wanted when they went into points. The Cascia Hall would come into third place in their league, but it's a battle of two really good teams, and we're going to see some hard-hitting plays, some explosive plays. I said the quarterback for Checotah is Jacob Barrett, Eastern Michigan commit, Division I talent. We've seen him multiple times this year, and he can for sure get going. It's a brisk night here, 42 degrees. Everybody is bundled up, and I am pleased to be joined alongside myself now by former Oklahoma State safety Dion Amade. Dion, playoff time is upon us. Win or go home season. What's kind of going through these guys' heads?
It's time to play playoff football here in Oklahoma, and I think these kids know it.
They for sure do. Checotah won the toss, declined until the second half, so Cascia Hall will get the ball first. The kickoff is away and will be fielded at the 25-yard line after it's bobbled once. Probing up the middle, and he'll find it all the way, up to the 25. It's fielded at the 15, up to about the 27-yard line. On the return that time, it looks like it was Jake Weller. Weller playing his last playoff season, I guess we can say, senior linebacker slash running back. And here come the Commandos, led by a very serious head coach in Joe Medina. Medina was out there running his team through pregame warmups. He's been to quite a few playoffs, so he's got experience in this atmosphere as the Commandos go 5 wide, swing it out quick, caught at the 25, but it'll be brought down right there. It's going to be a loss of a few yards, and great swarming defense that time by the Commandos.
Yeah, just a great job by Brandon Dan right there, coming up and making the tackle from his safety position.
Andrew Wardham was the intended target. Throw slants complete up to the 35-yard line. That time on the catch is Zachary Urin.
Interesting right now, you see this Checotah defense starting off in man-to-man, thinking that they have the athletes to run with Cascia Hall. It's going to be interesting to see if they do.
That was a quick pass that had an open man but was bobbled. Andrew Wortham couldn't come down with it. And that'll bring up fourth down and short, and the Commandos look like they're going to switch out units and bring on the punting team.
Yeah, and that's fortunate for Cascia Hall. Unfortunate for Cascia Hall, but fortunate for Checotah, because you could see the defensive coordinator wanting the guys to come up and press even more. Cascia Hall doing a good job of just standing up and running those 5-yard hitches with the cushion that the safeties were giving those slot wide receivers.
The punt's away, it bounces at the 30 and be fielded there. Nothing much doing that time for Jacob Barrett. And Barrett, they'll do it all for the Wildcats. He's back there right now at the punt return, but you're going to see him take some snaps as well. Great first possession, though, for the Wildcats, forcing the Commandos into 2nd and long and stopping them on 3rd down.
Yeah, you could see defense was on their toes there. It's going to be interesting to see if they continue with that man-to-man defense throughout the contest.
Ball spotted on the 30-yard line. Barrett in the gun. A man beside him. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going deep down the left sideline, and it is incomplete. Intended target that time is Brendan Dan. Brendan Dan was really just overthrown that time, Dion.
Yeah, it really was. Interesting that you see the Checotah Wildcats coming out, throwing the football, especially with the dynamic runner they have there in the backfield, that being Jacob Barrett.
Barrett in the backfield. He's flanked on the right side by the running back. They fake it to an in sweep, and they're going to let Barrett run it himself. Barrett up the middle, not much doing. They'll say he gained about 3, brings up 3rd down and 7. Trying to some misdirection that time, Dion,
and you can tell that they know that they're going to have to run the ball with the quarterback a lot today. So that's kind of why they, threw the ball first, trying to loosen up that defense, see what they do here on 3rd down.
Elijah Fuller, I believe, is the running back. He's wearing a different number. As Barrett's going to keep it himself, run left side. 1st down for the Wildcats. You saw great blocking that time by the wide receivers on the left side. And then Barrett, once he gets into open field, he does the rest.
Yeah, check out this excellent blocking from the running back. Comes out, it's just a quarterback power. Picks up the 1st down. You can tell Barrett really wants this victory. Every time he goes down, he's extending the ball. He's got to be careful with that, but this is a guy who's very determined to get the yards that he needs to get his team this victory.
A basic 3-man front for Cascia Hall. They bring 4 this time. Pass complete past the 50-yard line into commando territory. Go the Wildcats. That time the pass is complete to a man we're probably going to say a lot tonight, Brendan Dan.
Yeah, he's an explosive wide receiver for this Wildcat bunch. Gonna see him get the ball a lot. I like what they're doing early right now with him. Just a simple 5-yard hitch on the outside. Try to get that corner to come up and let Dan go deep later on in the game.
Barrett gives running back this time and picks up the 1st down. It's a good job by the Wildcats of really getting a push with their front 5.
Yeah, and Elijah Fuller right there, running back, getting up the middle and getting the 1st down. Although I saw that ball come loose a little bit, he has to hold on tight to that thing. This Cascia Hall bunch can really bring the wood.
Barrett in the gun. He's got 2 wide receivers to his right. He rolls that way. He's going to tuck it himself. Barrett to the 40, to the 35, still on his feet at the 30. Makes a man miss just beyond the 30. Still on his feet to the 20. He's got the edge to the 10, to the 5. Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Checotah.
And that was an impressive run, and that's what we came to see. Jacob Barrett taking the game into his own hands. It's a pass all the way. He doesn't like what he sees down the field. He tucks it. Well, I'm not going to say he tucks it because he was running loose with that football. But
like
he put it in his arms and he went to the distance.
Looks like the Wildcats are going to go for 2. 2 wide receivers far side, 1 to the near. They send him in motion. That's Trenton Dan. They fake it to Dan. They've got a man wide open in the end zone. Complete 2-point conversion. Good. Brock Butler on the reception. Wildcats up early, 8-0.
Yeah, we got to take a replay of that 2-point conversion because I don't know where he came from. Normally, it's a tight end position and they get loose coming across the formation. But let's check out where he came from right here. I still don't see him.
It was a very well-designed play all the way around.
Very well-designed play, fooled even us up here. So good job by the Checotah Wildcat team on their first offensive possession. But look at him breaking tackles and being so elusive there in the open field. Arm tackles will not bring this man down as he knows that he has the edge and he takes it all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, head coach Joe Medina said for Cascia Hall, one of their keys is going to have to be gang tackling. They need guys swarming the ball, especially when Barrett has the ball. One guy is not going to be able to bring down Barrett down. They need multiple commandos around the ball. That time, it didn't happen.
Yeah, first certainly didn't, and they're going to need to be around number 2. Because unfortunately for Cascia Hall, this is a situation where now you saw what they're doing offensively. Now you know who you need to stop. I'm sure it wasn't any secret before coming into this game, but right now you know it. So I would imagine them spying the quarterback, doing some special things on defense to keep number 2 contained in the pocket.
That was a quick and entertaining burst there from the Checotah Wildcats. We are underway. Playoff football. It's exciting. It's toe meets leather, and once again, the Commandos will take it this time at the 20, 25, and hit hard there. Brought down that time. Great tackle by the Wildcats. And Matt Clover brings down the ball carrier, and that's where the Commandos will take over. Ball just short of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be – they're doing this pooch kick right now on kickoff that keeps putting this Cascia Hall offense in good field position. So let's see if they can capitalize on that.
Back at the quarterback, Jackson Henderson right now. He gives it in the motion to Zachary Urin. Urin tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and that's 2 first down plays and 2 first down plays that have gained not positive yards, Dion.
Yeah, right there, just a jet sweep motion for Urin, one of their top wide receivers coming into the contest, 12 touchdown catches.
They're going in a hurry. Quarterback drops back, looks right, throws. There's a lot of contact there, and the flag is going to come in. Dion has a safety. So number 5 on number 5 there, but there was a lot of contact down the field. What did you see?
Yeah, too much handsy play by the cornerback, number 5 over there on the outside. Mr. Dan, he did have his hand on that upfield shoulder nearest to him, and he has to let go, especially when that ball's in the air.
It was Trenton Dan, as you said, kind of had a hold on him. The receiver that time was Trent Westbrook. Westbrook has an interesting story. Head coach Joe Medina said that Westbrook played for them freshman year and then decided he wanted to just stick with basketball. So he stuck with basketball for a few years and then came back this year to the football team. High snap, but it is caught. But hit in the backfield is the running back. Going nowhere is J.C. Ward. Ward brought down hard, and once again, the Commandos not having success on first down.
Yeah, it's a good job by the defensive line getting in the backfield initially, and even better job wrapping up and bringing the running back to the ground.
Cascia Hall lined up with 2 running backs to either side. Now they split them out. Henderson under pressure. He's going to be slung down to the ground at the 35-yard line. Nice tackle coming from behind is Brock Hall, and Hall brings down Henderson.
And I'll tell you one thing right now, because these guys are playing so much man, it's allowing them to bring a lot of people into the box and even more pressure in passing situations. And it doesn't look like this offensive line for Cascia Hall is being able to hold up early in this game.
3rd down, about 20. 3 wide receivers in the near side. Pass, flat, over the head of his intended target, Trent Westbrook. Brock had a step on the defender, but that was trying to put a ball into a tight hole there, Dion.
And it looked like there might have been some communication issues defensively there. I saw a guy streaking down the sideline open a little bit, but there was just too much traffic in that area for the quarterback to put the spot in the place that he wanted it. Because of that, it floats over everyone's head and out of bounds.
Cascia Hall will be forced to punt once again. They had a good drive going, picked up a first down on a penalty, but it stalls, and a rugby-style punt will hit at the 45, but roll all the way to the 30. That's where Barrett will fall on it. That's a decently smart move there by Barrett. Probably would have rolled another 5 yards. He just fields it like a shortstop and falls down.
Yeah, it is dangerous the way when you punt the ball like that, and it was a good job by the Cascia Hall punter because you can tell he's trying to punt away and keep the ball away from Barrett. But in that situation, they normally like to call Peter. Everybody, including the returner, getting away from the football. This time, Barrett decides to save some field position and hop on it.
2 wide receivers split out to either side of the field. The running back is Fuller beside Barrett. Man in motion, they run the option. They are going to give it to the running back, or pardon me, the wide receiver, Matt Clover. Clover still on his feet in the backfield, but he looks like a rabbit with nowhere to go as he's finally brought down, a loss of over 10 yards, and that's not what you want on first down.
Yeah, it's a jet sweep motion. He comes in front, but good job by the defensive end right here, keeping contained and pressing the ball backwards. He still stays on that side and ends up being the one that almost makes the tackle. He didn't make the tackle, but he certainly made the play right there, keeping contained. And now this Wildcat offense is what? Is that a 2nd and 22?
Yeah, it's close. It's almost a loss of, 12, 14. I'm not for sure. They're going to hand it off to Fuller. Fuller probing. Will get out probably 3 yards short of the first line of scrimmage. It brings up 3rd down and I guess, more manageable than 3rd down and 22.
Yeah, normally we call manageable 3rd downs 5 yards or less. Right now, this is a lot better than where it was initially.
Trips wide receivers to the near side of the screen. Hard count for Barrett. Couldn't get anybody to jump off sides. Look back over to the sideline. Now they got the play that they want. Barrett drops back, 3-step drop, now he's gonna run. He takes off, Barrett to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, 1st down and more. Barrett, midfield, Barrett, 40, jukes a man at the 35, and is run out of bounds at the 30-yard line. That is an electric quarterback, and Cascia Hall has not been able to contain him once he gets out in space.
3rd and 12 is not long enough for Jacob Barrett. Look at this, looking down the field, and as soon as his first read isn't there, he's going and taking it himself. You can see strutting down the field. I thought he might have had the angle. Good job by the Cascia Hall secondary being able to chase him down and push him out of bounds there.
That's, as we said, a name we're going to say a lot. Barrett makes plays. He made one there. Ball spotted on the 32-yard line. Barrett takes it himself, looks left, makes a man miss in the backfield before he is brought down. It is a gain of 1, but I mean, even there, that is a play that you're probably not going to see in the highlight reel, Dion. But he made a loss of 2 into a gain of 1.
That's exactly right. Nice, nifty moves there in the backfield. Able to get up the field and at least gain some positive yards for the Wildcat offense. See what they do here on 2nd down.
2nd down and 9. 2 wide receivers split out either side. Fuller in the backfield with Barrett. Barrett, 3-step drop and is rolling to his left now. He's chased out of the pocket, throws on the run, has a man in the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended target that time was Brendan Dan. Dan was open for a second, went up with one hand, but couldn't bring it down.
Yeah, I think he just floated a little bit too much to the sideline there. That one kind of just lobbed in the air. Goes up for it, shows off the vertical jump, but can't come down with it.
Wildcats leading 8-0. Clock under 5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter of this playoff game here in Checotah, Oklahoma. Barrett in the gun, gives to Fuller running left. Fuller up to the 25, probing his way, trying to get to the 20. Will depend on the spot, but that was a good effort by Fuller, a 2nd effort by Fuller, and he might have just picked up that 1st down.
And I was going to state that right there, a great 2nd effort by Fuller to get up the field and move the chains for the Wildcats.
They do give the Wildcats the 1st down. The clock starts to roll right now. 8-0 the score. Checotah, 2 wide receivers near side, 2 split out to the far. Barrett gonna take it himself, bounces it outside, beats the defensive end, and is tripped up. That time a good tackle by Cascia Hall and Zachary Urin. Urin, a senior defensive back and wide receiver, and we've said his name a few times today.
Yeah, we certainly have. That's somebody offensively they do want to get the ball in his hands, but he's making some good plays on defense early in this game as well.
A penalty against Checotah will back the ball up 10 yards. Ball past the 35-yard line, so they'll give him the 34. See near side number 10 who's in the slot. That's in the slot. That's Matt Clover, and he's got a wrap on his arm as Barrett's going to try and take off, and this time he's brought down. He had a gap there, but it was closing quick, and he's brought down by the defensive lineman Owen Pazzo. Pazzo brings down Barrett, and 2nd down and long upcoming for the Wildcats.
And you can kind of see, I mean, right now this Cascia Hall offensive line isn't doing that great of a job keeping pressure off the back of Jacob Barrett. And we haven't really been able to point it out because Barrett's been doing a good job of eluding that pressure. But we'll see how that is throughout the contest.
Once again, twins split out either side. The give is to Fuller. Fuller up the middle. Brought down at the 25-yard line. A nice pickup for Fuller, but it still does bring up 3rd down and long.
And that's something that they're going to have to continue doing. Those delayed running plays, the draw, the quarterback draw, just to keep this defensive line and linebackers to hesitate a little bit from getting so much penetration.
That's also, if you get too much penetration with your defensive line, you allow Barrett some running lanes as well. They bring a blitz Set up a screen left side, complete, but brought down is Brendan Dan. Dan didn't have much going there. They tried to set up the screen, get the offensive lineman out there, but it just didn't have enough time to develop.
That's exactly right. I mean, they had some open field to work with, but the pass, because it was on the opposite hash, took so long to get there that allowed the defensive backs to, come over and make a play on it.
They're going to wave off the flag. See there on your screen, the head referee for tonight's game, Steve Bartman. Fourth down and 13, and Checotah's in a strange position. They can't really punt this ball away. They can't kick a field goal, so they're going to end up going for it. You're in between here.
Yeah, and I imagine that they would go for it for the fact that this is kind of the same spot that Cascia Hall has had field position all night, so going to be interesting to see what they do here offensively.
Well, the Wildcats let the clock run down and call a timeout, and they're going to discuss a game plan, and we're going to discuss one too as we go to break. The Wildcats leading 8-0 over the Commandos here in Checotah for the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Welcome back to Checotah, Oklahoma, located just off the interstate. On Interstate 40, as you see a prime truck go by, you get all kinds of trucks passing by you here, and we got a good game. And if you look and don't look too long, you'll see Jacob Barrett passing by you here as he's led the Wildcats on another drive, but he does have a fourth down and long upcoming. They're going to fake the handoff. They're going to run a reverse pass. They got a man open in the middle of the field, and it is complete. Touchdown Wildcats. The double reverse pass is complete that time to Bailey McIntosh, and the Wildcats lead 14-0.
And just an excellent execution by the Wildcats, and you could see Brendan Dan is the one that makes the completion down the field. He actually took off his glove and everything so he could throw an accurate pass, and it was definitely that as he hits McIntosh right between the 4 and the 0 on his jersey.
This time it looks like the Wildcats are going to go for the extra point. Play clock is winding down. They're asking for the snap, and they did not get it off. It took a while for Giannis to get out there. Angel Giannis. So they'll back it up 5 and attempt it once again. It's an unforced error that time by the Wildcats. Let's see if it comes back to haunt them. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Splits the uprights and gives the Wildcats a 15-point lead. They lead 15-0. And what great execution as you're talking about here on the double reverse.
Yeah, check out the reverse. You see Brendan Dan just throws a strike right down the middle. McIntosh doing a good job of catching it.
And he just gets lost behind the defense.
Yeah, you can see everybody watching what's going on in the backfield, and they lose track of the receiver running down the field. And the Wildcats make him pay for it.
Does that happen sometimes, Dion, as a defensive back, is you got a running quarterback, a guy that is so mobile and is a weapon that you keep your eyes in the backfield just too much?
That's a good point because of the fact that Jacob Barrett has the ability to take everything and run. I mean, as a defensive back, it's frustrating because you're guarding, you're playing man-to-man, you're playing zone defense, and you're guarding your man, and you're thinking you're doing your job, and then all of a sudden the quarterback's taking off. So it could get you to lose track of what your responsibilities are and get your eyes glued in on that backfield so you can help out your team. But that's why this Cascia Hall coaching staff has to stress to its defense, just Just do your job. Do your responsibility. Don't try to make up for anybody else. That you could imagine that happening in the playoffs with everybody wanting to win so bad and advance to grab that gold ball, but you just got to do what you're coached to do.
Third time the Wildcats have kicked off tonight. Once again, they're going to probe on the right side, fielded at the 20-yard line, taken left side by Urin. Urin cuts it up the middle. Will get past the 30 to about the 31-yard line, where he's stopped there by a host of Wildcats. First quarter winding down, 2:14 left to go, and the Checotah Wildcats lead 15-0. It's been really a clinic in this first quarter for the Wildcats on the offensive side. They've executed trick plays. They've had Barrett getting the ball in his hands and letting him go to work. And on the defensive side, they've gotten pressure in the backfield and really covered well down the field. Counter to the left side to the running back Ward. J.C. Ward not having much doing, but that is a positive yard, which is the first time that the Commandos have had positive yards on first down, even though it is just, what, a half a yard?
Something like that. That's a good job by the safety, though. Jacob Barrett coming up and making the tackle and keeping contained on that outside.
You see on your screen right now the quarterback, number 13, Jackson Henderson. That's not what you want your quarterback to look like at the end of the first quarter. Screen pass complete left side. The running back, J.C. Ward, probing, and he's got space. Past the 50 to the 45 goes Ward before he's brought down by Barrett.
And that's just a good job by the offense, kind of needing a spark, and they finally find one with this screen play over here to the running back. Good job by the offensive line, getting out in front and leading the way. It takes Jacob Barrett to come from behind to make the tackle, but a good pickup, and now they're in this Wildcat territory,
And the first time they've been in Wildcat territory today. Ball spotted right on the 45-yard line. Henderson is in the backfield, and we got a flag on the play. Two running backs to either side, a running back to either side of Henderson. The penalty will go against Cascia Hall. That backs him up 5, and just as we were saying, they were in Cascia Hall territory. Now the ball will be spotted with the head of the ball just short of the 50-yard line. That does count as 50-yard line, though. Wide receiver near side, 2 running backs in the backfield, an offset eye. Henderson rolls right, looking, got a man behind the defense, thrown up, and it is just short. Batted down, pass intended for Flynn Sage. Sage had his man beat, but the throw was underthrown.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It was a sprint out pass over here to the right-hand side. A good job by the wide receiver and a bad job by that strong safety there, Brendan Dan, letting the receiver behind him, but he does a good job because he has the speed to come up and make up for that mistake and makes a good play on the ball.
Running back to either side, they fake it one way, counter to the other, and that's nothing doing for the Commandos. That time, they gave the ball to Jake Weller, but I mean, just nothing doing for the Commandos as they counter, and Weller's brought down the backfield.
And that's a good job by Branch Hall coming from his linebacker spot and making that tackle.
Cascia Hall got into Checotah territory, but since then they've gone backwards. A penalty, an incomplete pass, and a running play that lost 5 yards. Henderson steps up, pass complete at the 45-yard line, up to the 40, right around the 35-yard line. He is going to be just short. That time, the intended target, Trent Westbrook, came down with it. It'll be just short of the first down, but nice play there on a third down.
And right there, you can see 2 Cascia Hall, Checotah Wildcats defenders slipping in the route right there. Brendan Dan and Jacob Barrett both going down.
Well, the first quarter, has been all Wildcats. They lead 15-0, but the Commandos are driving, looking to get on the board. We'll be right back here after this commercials breaks on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week.
Hi, we're Bravado Wireless. You may have seen us at your local events and wondered just exactly what we do. We provide the highest quality cell phone service, specializing in outstanding coverage, both locally and nationwide. We're headquartered right here in Oklahoma. with multiple store locations in eastern Oklahoma. We provide the most affordable, unlimited talk, text, and data plans available. For a limited time, our unlimited plan is only $40 a month, and you can receive a free LG K30. Make sure you stop in now and enjoy our other amazing summer deals before they end. Visit Bravado Wireless store locations for all other details, or go to bravadowireless.com.
Welcome back. Fourth down upcoming for Cascia Hall. Slant route complete. First down yardage, and he will get the first down. That time Andrew Worthen comes up with the catch, and Cascia Hall finally getting some positive plays together in a row.
Yeah, and that's a mistake over there by Checotah. You got to know the situation of the down and distance. Fourth down and short, you can't be off. You got to play press man.
Henderson in the backfield by himself. Ball's thrown in the middle of the field, incomplete. Looked like Henderson kind of threw that one off of his back foot, and that falls harmlessly to the turf, and they're there in the middle of the field.
You can see that Cascia Hall offense and that sideline looking for a flag. It looked like the receiver was tangled up there in the middle of things.
Cascia Hall breaks the huddle. Two wide receivers to the near side of the field. Two running backs as well to this side. They've now moved the tight end to this side. Everybody's on the near side of the field. They run a sweep route that way to the 30, to the 25. The running back still on his feet to the 20, to the 15. He'll be brought down there. That time, J.C. Ward with a nice run. Just a freshman playing in his first playoffs, J.C. Ward.
And this is something that Checotah has to look for throughout the game. Right there, you see the tight end motion from one side to the other. If you look at the wide side of your screen, you can see a wide receiver. The X receiver was on the line of scrimmage, so you had to know this was a run play because the tight end had to stay in and block. He was an ineligible receiver.
Once again, the power set up to the left side of the line, and this time nothing doing for Ward. Ward brought down in the backfield. Great penetration that time by the Wildcats, and they drop for a loss of about 4 or 5 for the Commandos.
Yeah, good job by Harris coming up from his cornerback position and making a nice stop on the outside.
Cascia Hall trying to cut into this Wildcats lead. They trail 15-0, second down and 15. A man in motion, they fake it one way, and they're going to run basically a bootleg with Henderson. Henderson will pick up nice yardage. He'll get past the original line of scrimmage. Probably brings a third down in around 7, but the naked bootleg that time works out as Henderson picks up, we'll call it 7, and brings it within third and manageable.
Yeah, look at this replay. 22 personnel, 2 backs, 2 tight ends, and they go up and pass the football on a bootleg. Good job by the secondary staying with their wide receivers down the field and getting it communicated who they got, but good job by the quarterback there, seeing nobody open and getting up the field and getting some positive yards.
Snap high, Henderson throws a slant route, complete, first down yardage once again, that time to Zachary Urin. Urin comes down with a big first down catch and moves the chains.
Yeah, good job with Cascia Hall offense finally finding their flow here, kind of finding a rhythm and getting up the field and getting positive yardages, find themselves in the red zone on the goal line.
Cascia Hall, they have 2 key stats. On the offensive side, they have been averaging just over 39 points a game in their last 4 games. They've really gotten it rolling since their last loss. 3 backs in the backfield. They give it to the fullback, powering ahead, but nothing doing. That time, Dylan Wilson on the carry. Wilson can't pick up enough yardage for the touchdown, but he does move the Commandos closer. Commandos going all white jerseys. White pants, white tops, and the navy blue helmets, and the royal blue is what the Wildcats are sporting. Royal blue hats, white pants. Slant route, left side, complete, touchdown Commandos. Zachary Uring comes up with a big catch, and that's a huge drive for Cascia Hall. Multiple times they were at third down and long. They were able to execute and cut into the Wildcat lead.
And you can see they kind of caught that cornerback on that side a little off guard with that quick screen to the outside. Good job by the wide receiver coming up with the catch and falling into the end zone.
Extra point pending. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it is good. Cascia Hall adds the extra point and cuts the Wildcat lead to 8.
Yeah, and you can see it right there. Urin, another touchdown pass for him. It has me thinking if it was a situation where Cascia Hall didn't think they could get the yards they needed between the tackles, and so they attacked the outside, and because of that, they get a touchdown.
What did you see different from Cascia Hall on that third drive as opposed to their first 2?
You know what? They kind of just found their rhythm, especially with different personnel groupings. They brought in some more tight ends and just was able to, you know, run some unique plays. You saw that bootleg where the quarterback made some nifty moves down the field with his legs, and then you saw some other guys make some moves, especially in the running game. So I think it was just different play calling that kind of helped them get down the field and getting to the end zone.
We talked about the Cascia Hall offense. In the last 4 games, they've averaged just over 39 points. With the defense, in their last 4 games, they've given up just under 8 points a game. So they've already broken that average. But they can still stay in this game. The head coach, Joe Medina, said that, you know, they had multiple things. They hit their stride, which is one of the reasons why they were able and playing well down the stretch. But they also had a favorable schedule to help them out. You know, these are the, once you hit this time right here in November, Dion, when the playoffs roll around, there's 16 teams left, and any one of these 16 teams can beat the other at any given night.
Yeah, because you never know how a team is playing when it comes into the playoffs, because you might have had a couple of losses early in the season and then your team just catches on fire. So these predictions and these analysts, they can say what they want and they can believe what they want.
Onside kick right side, takes a high hop and is fielded by Fuller. And the Wildcats will retain possession, as you were saying, Dion.
And that was a great grab by Fuller right there. One-handed, he brings it down and then gathers it with 2 and gets on the ground and gets on there safely. A risk by this Cascia Hall team, but a risk they were willing to go with. Let's see if Jacob Barrett and this offense can make him pay because of it with the great field position.
It didn't look like the Cascia Hall defense was able, it didn't look like they were going to stop the Wildcats anyway, so they're trying to see if they could steal a possession there. Barrett gives right side Fuller, has his feet taken out from underneath him after a 2-yard gain. Great tackle that time by the Commandos.
Right there, you see that GT counter, a play that the University of Oklahoma has almost made famous around these parts. You see the guard and the tackle pulling from the opposite side. Good job by the secondary getting through that traffic and finding the ball carrier.
2 wide receivers either side. Barrett keeps it himself, gets outside, still on his feet. Looked like Barrett was going to be brought down right around the 45-yard line of Cascia Hall. Instead, he lunges forward for a first down.
Yeah, I don't know how he got out of that traffic. Let's take a look at it on this replay. Look at him takes that hit and stays up. And then you see, looks like number 40 helps him drag him across that line to get the first down.
Ball on the 39-yard line. Hard count that time from Barrett. 2 wide receivers either side. Barrett looks left, throws. 5-yard stop, complete. That time, the wide receiver is Brendan Dan, and that's a pickup of 5, and really what you're looking for on first down.
Yeah, definitely. Great job on first down, just getting a quick pass out to the outside and picking up some good yards to make it a very manageable situation on 2nd and 3rd.
Brendan Dan's trying to fix his shoulder pads out there, as you saw on your screen, and then Jacob Barrett's a little late getting into his position as well as he's trying to tie his shoe. So we got some equipment malfunctions right now for the Wildcats. 2nd down and 5. This time Fuller, patient, finds a hole, lunges forward, first down, past the 30 to the 28-yard line. Fuller did a good job there of not rushing things and getting the first down when he could.
And that was the perfect word that you used right there. Patient was the runner, doing a good job following his blockers and just getting up the field and doing a good job picking up that first down.
Looks like the Wildcats are going to call a timeout. Oh, no, we got a guy down. We got a guy down on the field right around the 20-yard line. So that's going to give us a stoppage in play. Clock stops. The Wildcats leading 15-7. We talked about Cascia Hall. Let's flip it over to the Wildcats. What have you seen on the offense side of the ball from them so far?
Right now, it just seems like that offense is, leaning on their athletes and doing a good job creating. They're having a lot of success running the football. Not so much, throwing down the field other than that trick play with the reverse to Brendan Dan as he threw the touchdown pass to Bailey McIntosh down the field there on 4th down. But other than that, they're having a great night running the football with the quarterback, even with number 25, Elijah Fuller. He's being patient in the backfield, something that they're going to have to continue doing that. Run the ball until they can show that they can stop it. And then when they start to load the box, then you hit the outside and you let Brendan Dan and those Bailey McIntosh and those wide receivers get a little action out there on the outside.
And I'll let you know that this game is brought to you by Bravado Wireless. Are you tired of traveling over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house only to realize there is no cell phone service? Here's your chance to change all of that. Switch over to Bravado Wireless, and you can be a part of America's best network while keeping your phone budget to a price even Grandma would approve of.
The injury player getting off the field right now under his own 2 feet is Zachary Urin, and that's a wide receiver and a defensive back that this Cascia Hall team desperately needs. Hopefully he's all right to re-enter the game.
Clock rolls. 2 wide receivers near side. They send a man in motion. They fake it to him. Barrett running right side, has a blocker out there, but he makes a man miss. The flag comes down as Barrett takes a step out of bounds right around the 25-yard line. They'll give him the 23. We're going to have to see what this flag is for.
I imagine it's going to be holding over there on the outside on number 5, Trenton Dan.
Holding is indeed the call. Trenton Dan, the guilty party. Barrett had a block out there, and it just kind of fizzled. Ball backed up, 32-yard line, and first and we'll call it 15, Dion, for the Wildcats now. They've got 2 wide receivers to the far side. Fuller's in the backfield, just a step behind Barrett. Snap high, Barrett gives to Fuller. Fuller left side, tries to make a man miss, does make one man miss, but can't make another as he's brought down in the backfield that time by Jackson Henderson. Henderson getting involved on the offense, on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, that's a good job of them getting penetration in the backfield. Take a look at this on your replay. High snap. Getting in there on the outside and keeping contained.
The thing about 3A football that you love to see is the athletes are going to play both ways. These teams can't afford not to have their best players on the field at all times, Dion, so they let them play both ways, and you get really great plays like that play right there. Barrett going to cue it himself, runs right side behind the right tackle, picks up 5, brings up 3rd down and 11. The ball came out. Cascia Hall recovered, but we're going to see if Barrett was down before that ball came out.
And that's what the referees call. They say he was down. Let's take a look at the replay right here and see if he actually was.
It definitely looked like Barrett's knee, shoulder, and elbow had all gone down. The Cascia Hall sideline wants the ball. Unfortunately, there's no replay. They can't go back and look at it. Of course, if they did, they would find kind of what we found. Hard count from Barrett. Almost drew the nose tackle off sides. Instead, he retreats to his proper side. 3rd down and 11. Blitz coming. Wildcats pick it up. Barrett to his left. Throws. Sideline too far. Ran out of real estate on the left side. Pass intended for Brendan Dan. Falls incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
And it was a good job by the offensive line there, picking up the pressure. You saw 2 blitzers come in from their linebacker spots to create a pressured situation. Good job by the offensive line holding strong, but an inaccurate pass from Jacob Barrett. And now it's 4th down and 11.
Once again, Wildcats in no man's land here, so they decide they're going to go for it. And Barrett is a weapon if he's back there to pass and you don't account for him. Barrett takes a step up, now rolling right, looking for anybody. He's going to roll back to his left. Makes a man miss at the 40-yard line, still on his feet, looking for anybody to throw it to. Still on his feet, he's gonna roll back to the right. If he completes this, is gonna be incredible. Has a man at the goal line. Touchdown! Cats! Are you kidding me? Have a moment!
What did we just see? Jacob Barrett doing all kinds of acrobat in the back of the... But there's a flag.
No, there's not.
But there's a flag.
You can't run around that much and I guess not have a block in the back somewhere. Jacob Barrett with the acrobats. He just ran 60 yards, Dion, around the field, in the backfield, making guys miss, and then finds a man at the goal line for a touchdown.
And I imagine it's going to be a lineman downfield, ineligible player downfield, because with those situations, you don't know if your quarterback's going to run or pass. And what did they just call?
I think they called a block in the back.
And that's unfortunate because we just saw maybe the play of week 1 playoff in Oklahoma from Jacob Barrett.
I mean,
and I'm trying to see where the block comes from.
Johnny Manziel back there wearing number 2. Barrett, it's got even longer to go, but I wouldn't put it past him to get it. He needs to get to the 18-yard line for a first down.
And I think he's going to punt it.
And he is indeed. The punt is going to be fair caught at the 12-yard line. That time caught by Zachary Urin. So good to see him back in the game. But, man, what a play by Barrett that gets negated by the penalty.
Yeah, because he had some moves there in the backfield. I mean, every time he thought he was going to throw the ball, he decides to go to the opposite side of the field. And when he finally does, he has a guy back there by himself, and it looks like it's Bailey McIntosh.
I think the block in the back, if you look closely, will happen as soon as he puts his feet in the ground right here. You see that push in the right side of your screen.
I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough, Seth, to negate that incredible play.
3 wide receivers wide open is one on the right side. They had trips, but they do complete the pass to the left side. Brought down by a host of Wildcats is J.C. Ward, but it looks like the Cascia Hall Commandos missed an opportunity with a man wide open running down the right side. Ward does a nice job of picking up positive yards on the first down, but the Commandos had 3 wide receivers to the far side, and the Wildcats only had 2 guys to guard them. Wildcats 3-man down on a 3-4 set. They bring 5. A slant route complete to the 40. He's being brought down from behind. Great tackle that time by Malachi Harris, but the pass is complete to Zachary Urin. Urin on that just ran a perfect slant route and was also hit in stride to advance the ball all the way just short of the
And you're starting
midfield.
to see some man-beater routes. You see this 5-yard out right here. That's quick slant over here from the 3rd receiver far to the outside. Hard for that cornerback to follow on that back trailing coming across the middle. They hit him in stride, and he picks up some big yards.
Ball to 49, 2 wide receivers to the far side. Henderson rolls right, sets his feet, throws, complete, right around the first down marker. Run out of bounds. That time, it looks like it was Andrew Worthen with the completion, but as you're saying, some man-beater routes is what Cascia Hall has been running right now.
This one is just a simple 5-yard hitch. Find the sticks and get to the turn around and get back to the quarterback.
Henderson, handoff, right side. Not much doing that time for the running back. Dylan Wilson, the junior linebacker slash running back, picks up about 3, but even that's positive yards for Cascia Hall on first down.
Yeah, and this defensive line for Checotah has been doing a good job between the tackles.
Clock's still rolling now. They are under 3 minutes to go. Pass, slant route, batted down at the line of scrimmage. That time, good job by the Wildcats, knowing that on that slant route, they're not going to be able to get to the quarterback, so just put their hands up.
Yeah, and you see tight coverage over there on the outside from Harris. See what they're doing here on 3rd down.
Big 3rd down upcoming. You got to believe if Cascia Hall doesn't convert here or even pick up any yardage, that they'll punt it away to the Wildcats. Meanwhile, if they pick up some yardage, then they might have 2 plays. And go for it on 4th down. They fake one way, fake the other. Henderson on a bootleg, has man open up the sideline, complete at the 20-yard line. Just past the 20 now to the 19 is where they run the wide receiver out of bounds.
And it looked like just the tight end sneaks out of the backfield there. No, it's the fullback, actually. He's the one that comes across the middle of the formation, gets in between the guard and the tackle, and slips out of the backfield, and is the one wide open on that bootleg.
Beautiful play design that time by Cascia Hall. Puts them into the red zone. Clock at 2:33. Henderson drops back, looks left, throws, complete. To the 15, to the 10 before he's pushed out of bounds. That time it's Urin. Urin is all over the field, and that time, as you're talking about, the Wildcats are playing this man-to-man, so Cascia Hall's just running short routes to and quick routes to beat that man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, right there you saw a pivot from Urin. Fakes the slant, pivots right back out, and he's wide open over there on the outside with some room to run.
Ball inside the 10. They'll spot it at the 7. First down and goal for Cascia Hall. Thought it was a timeout, but head referee is trying to get them back into play. As he does, he blows the clock. He tells the clock to roll, so the clock's at 20 seconds while Cascia Hall is trying to break the huddle. Now they're going to try and re-huddle up here, Dion. This is going to be interesting to see if they get this play off. Play clock at 10. They get to the line of scrimmage. Henderson under center this time. 3 men in the backfield. They fake it. Looking in the back, nothing doing for Henderson as he throws, and it is complete right around the goal line. And right as I say nothing doing, Henderson finds a streaker right across the field. That time it's Flynn Sage, and he's brought down, pushed out of bounds just short of the goal line.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of play action right now. Good catch by the wide receiver coming across, just streaking in front of the quarterback's face, just like you said, Seth. And they put the ball right on the goal line here. See if they can knock it in.
On second down and short from the goal line area, they went with a play action pass last time. We'll see what they decide to do. Henderson under center. Once again, 3 running backs in the backfield. They give it left side. Touchdown, Cascia Hall. That time, Flynn Sage punches it in. The sophomore comes up big for the Commandos, and it's going to be a decision time for the head coach of the Commandos, Joe Medina, decide if they want to go for 2 and tie this thing up.
Looks like they got the field goal unit in there, but they're also, now it looks like they're going to call timeout, try to make a decision here.
Clock under 2 minutes. We've got ourselves a ball game, Dion. The first quarter belonged all to the Wildcats. Now, the second quarter, Cascia Hall has answered, and we're a 2-point conversion away from this game being tied.
That's certainly right. First quarter belonging all to the Wildcats. Looks like Cascia Hall has found their footing and got their foot on the gas, and they're continuing to move at a pace offensively that's pretty impressive.
It's been a flipped script, basically. Checotah couldn't be stopped on the offensive side. They were running good routes. They were letting Barrett, just do his thing. And really, now the Cascia Hall defense has stepped up. They're kind of swarming to the ball a little bit more in the offense. Didn't look like they knew how to handle the Wildcats man-to-man in the first few drives, but after those first few drives, they kind of got a game plan together and been executing it really well.
That's exactly right. The scary thing for Checotah right now is a lot of their offensive plays have been big-time plays from all their athletes, just getting loose in the open field and making things happen for them. Right now, for Cascia Hall, they've been stringing together great drives offensively. Those are things that you can count on consistently, and it's going to be interesting to see how things go here in the second half when we have 1 minute and 23 seconds left in the first half.
J.C. Ward lined up behind Henderson. Henderson going to go to the air, wide open. 2-point conversion is good. And it didn't even look like the quarterback on that side knew what he was doing. Zachary Urin comes up with the big catch, ties the game at 15 alls, and buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. We got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, it looked like he just, I don't know if he ran a pivot on that two-point conversion, and the cornerback thought he was going to run that slant and bit on it.
Yep. That's exactly what happened.
And he gets caught slipping there on the outside, and that's unfortunate because they're going to need number 1 Harris on the outside to have some confidence and play very well. But that's been 2 times on that first touchdown. He got caught slipping on that same route, and this time again, a pivot route with a fake slant on it, and he bites on it, and it's a touchdown.
You're Chad Hendricks, head coach of the Checotah Wildcats. Your man-to-man defense shut them down the first quarter. It's allowed some points in the second. Do you think about going in at halftime, kind of changing your game plan?
You have to at this point. You got to switch your defense around and just at least give this Cascia Hall team some different looks to look at.
Cascia Hall kickoff. They went with the onside kick last time.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine them going with that again, especially with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. Giving this Checotah Wildcats offense some great field position wouldn't be ideal.
The kicker is Luke Braley. Braley puts toe to leather. It is just a small pooch kick. It's going to be fair caught at the 35-yard line by Malachi Harris. 35-yard line, that's pretty good field position. That's only 65 yards standing between Checotah and the end zone here. Do you try and score this ball?
Yeah, of course. With their big play capabilities, you have to try to see what you can do with the time on the clock.
They're going to actually spot it inside or past the 35-yard line. They're going to give it all the way to 38. With Barrett, and you feel like this game is starting to open up. Defenses aren't being as effective as they were, and if you get an opportunity to score in this game, you better take advantage of it. Barrett, give, Fuller up the middle, ball's on the ground, and Cascia Hall falls on it. Disaster that time for the Wildcats. Cascia Hall comes up huge with a turnover and an opportunity from the Wildcat 35-yard line to put themselves ahead.
And that's Dylan Wilson who comes up with the ball, number 43, the linebacker. See, now the question flips on the other side. Cascia Hall finds themselves in really good field position and threatening to score going into halftime. They would find themselves with all the momentum in the world.
Tight end to either side. Henderson rolls right, throws towards the corner of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Man-to-man coverage that time, and good coverage by the cornerback.
Yeah, Trenton Dan over there on the outside doing a good job covering Urin, almost making an interception. Good job by the wide receiver. Urin coming up and getting that ball out of the hands of Mr. Dan on the outside there.
Looked like the receiver ran a post corner, but Dan was with them step for step. When you throw that ball up, you just got to make a play, and Dan did that time.
Yeah, he did a good job of staying underneath the route.
Henderson rolls right, pressure from behind, throws it up in the air, and it is incomplete. It looks like, Checotah's gone away from what was successful on their previous 2 drives, which was the short intermediate passes. They've gone long the past 2 plays.
Yeah, and you can see these defensive backs are able to run with those wide receivers down the field. It's when they get tangled up in coverage that they're having a little bit of trouble with.
Cascia Hall breaks the huddle. 2 tight ends to either side of the formation. Henderson rolls right, looking back towards the left. They're going to throw it. It's almost incomplete. That's a backwards pass, is it not? No, they're going to say it's incomplete. They're going to say that it's incomplete. There's a flag that comes in very late, but there were multiple things going on there, Dion.
Yeah, and it looked like number 25, Elijah Fuller, does a good job of jumping the screen route from the tight end position. It looks like he's about to go pick six it and go the other way, but he grabbed the face mask of Fuller, and take a look at this on the replay. He grabs it and he has it in his hands, and the face mask is dragged from behind. It's interesting. I don't know if you can call offensive face mask. I don't know if you can. Is that a call? Illegal hands to the face is primarily what they say most of the time.
Our head referee tonight is Steve Bartman. He's the white hat you'll see on your screen here in a second, but I mean, that is a face mask, but what is the correct call?
Offensively, I think it's illegal hands to the face. You can see all the time when those running backs and wide receivers are in the open field and they're stiffing, they do the stiff arm, they get their hands inside the face of the defender, and because of that, there's no flag on the field because there's no offensive face mask. But right now they're calling.
Bartman called a face mask, and then he went over to Checotah, and they declined it to bring up 4th down. So that's what we're happening. So all of that, and it won't even go in the record book. Now we got another flag on the field.
And it looks like they broke the huddle with 12 players on the field. So they're going to grab them with another flag.
Now the flag is going to be waved off. It looks like Cascia Hall is going to be just fine with punting this one away. There's been a swing of emotions here beyond these last 2 minutes. Henderson rolls right. It's a pooch kick right into the middle of the defense. It's recovered by Checotah, but that's a dangerous play because if it hits Checotah, then the Wildcats can recover it. Or pardon me,
take a look at the replay right here. It's just a low trajectory kick, and he just kicks one of the Checotah Wildcat players right in the chest.
So what's the, I honestly don't know. I'm asking you. So if that guy kicks that ball that low, when does it become an attempt at a block or a live ball? Is that the line of scrimmage?
I think it's a live ball because it touches one of the Checotah players, but because it's behind the line of scrimmage, if it was past the line of scrimmage or the 1st down marker, it might have been possibly a situation where they could have jumped on it and got a 1st down.
Barrett keeps this one himself, picks up 6 yards. The clock is rolling. Barrett did not get out of bounds or pick up a 1st down. Clock under a minute. It's at 40 seconds right now. Barrett in the gun, looking right. Steps up, thought about throwing. He's trying to try and make a man miss. He stays on his feet somehow. Throws, complete. Cuts towards the outside, but does not get out of bounds. Mistake that time by Trenton Dan, and it's going to cost the Wildcats a timeout.
And right now, you have to talk to your coaching staff because obviously these guys have not been coached in the 2-minute drill situation. First of all, offensively taking so much time to get the play call in and then getting the ball hiked and taking your time about getting back to the football. And then the cardinal rule of 2-minute offense. You get the ball and you get out of bounds, but still dancing in the open field, wasting time when they could have used them. Every second counts, Seth. Every second counts.
Clock's at 28 seconds. 15-15 our score. We've got a great one here in Checotah. The first quarter belonged all to the Wildcats. First 2 possessions they scored. It looked like they were going to run away with it with Jacob Barrett just showing flashes of brilliance at the quarterback position. The Wildcats adjusted though on the offensive side, scored a few touchdowns, and then have really been able to hem in Barrett and not allow him to get into the open field and make them pay.
They're still huddled up over there, man. It's going to be
something too that could come into play here, Dion, is the head coach for Checotah, Chad Hendricks, is actually up here in the booth instead of down on the field. And, well, that could come in maybe a little bit with the communication aspect of it as well.
Yeah, because you definitely can't get things communicated as fast as you want them to.
Dan throws sideline, complete at the 30, makes a man miss, and gets out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Dion is up here screaming because that time he wants him to stay in bounds because there's nobody in front of him.
You have to stay in bounds and get all the yards you can. This is not the situation where you go out of bounds, young man. Look at this. Nothing but daylight in front of you. Still continue to come forward, and then when a player presses you, then step out of bounds. He had so much more room to run there.
Barrett rolls left. Going to look back, throw right, middle of the field. Complete! Complete! Touchdown, Checotah! Touchdown, Wildcats! You just got mossed! Trenton Dan comes up with a huge touchdown and puts the Wildcats up right before the half.
You couldn't have said it any beautifulier, okay? I don't even know if that's a word.
I don't think
you just got mossed, young man. Trenton Dan, goodness.
Yeah, you could have said that a lot better.
Hey, don't be criticizing me when I'm complimenting you.
They're going to go for 2. Pass, left side, blockers, 2-point conversion good. Trenton Dan, 2 big plays back to back, and the Wildcats are back up 8.
Man, what a series did we just see. All the momentum that Cascia Hall had going into that last drive offensively, it's all out the window. Look at the catch, just the ability to jump over and snatch the ball away, making it look easy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nick Checotah, but you just got Moss.
Hey, somebody send that to SportsCenter or NFL ESPN because Randy Moss needs to see that one on Monday.
Trenton Dan throws it up. Or pardon me, Jacob Barrett throws it up. Trenton Dan goes to get it. What a play here in the 3A playoffs. And the Wildcats regain momentum just before the half. There's 12 seconds left on the play clock, Dion?
Yeah, I wish I was Dan because I wish I could jump and snatch the ball out of an opponent's hand just like that. That was amazing.
You got to imagine the Wildcats will not kick this one deep and give Cascia Hall an opportunity. It's a pooch kick. It's going to be fair caught at the 30-yard line. That's exactly where it will be caught. That time by Michael DeSelms. There's still 12 seconds left, Dion. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, right now it seems like Checotah has the big play capabilities. I haven't seen much of it from this Cascia Hall bunch, and I think that's why you're seeing them go into this victory formation right now.
Yeah, victory formation, but right now they're not have the points to have the victory as the Checotah Wildcats lead 23-15 over the Cascia Hall Commandos. As we said, the first quarter belonged to the Wildcats. They jumped out to a 15-0 lead. Then the Commandos came back to tie it 15-15 in the second quarter, and it looked like they were going to go into half with all the momentum after recovering a fumble. But instead, the Wildcats hold. Jacob Barrett does his thing, and Trenton Dan comes up huge and gives the Wildcats a 23-15 lead as we go to the half. We're going to the half here, on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week, but trust me, you don't want to go anywhere because you just might miss another play like Trenton Dan. So stay with us here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week.
There is truly no place like home. Right here in Eastern Oklahoma, Bravado Wireless provides the best unlimited talk, text, and data for only $40 a month. We believe in strong, connected communities. That's why we live stream community events like local football games. You may not know us by name, but we'll be at the same festivals and cheering for our kids on the same sidelines. Because we live where you live. Visit bravadowireless.com or visit one of our stores, where we make it easy to join our family. Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection.
We were there when your grandparents made their first telephone call. We were there when your parents were able to choose what to watch on cable. And now, we are here for you, providing high-speed internet service to your family. There is one thing we know for sure. No matter what happens next, Cross is here to keep you connected. Cross, serving families like yours, today and tomorrow.
Welcome back into the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. You're seeing some of the first half replays and highlights brought to you by Bravado Wireless. I want to let you know that if you have fallen short of the nice list this year, Bravado has got you covered. Instead of a big lump of coal from Santa, get yourself the new iPhone 11 for just $199. Restrictions do apply. See store for details. You can also give yourself the gift of unlimited internet this holiday season. You check out Bravado Wireless's internet plans today, and you can get $99 off a brand new router. Make sure that this holiday season is bold and bright by giving the power of connection. Restrictions apply. See store for details. Make sure to check out our friends all over Eastern Oklahoma in the Bravado Wireless. Well, Dion, it was an entertaining first half, to say the least. We'll start with the team that's going to receive the ball, the Checotah Wildcats. What do you want to see them do in this second half to take over this game and come out and play next week?
Honestly, I want to see if they can string together a drive that's not just full of big plays and you know, explosive athletes getting down the field in open space. I want to see if they can, you know, pick up some first downs and then score a touchdown here or there. For the fact of the matter is, Cascia Hall has been able to do that, and it's going to be very interesting to see if they can go ahead and you know get some first downs and run down the clock.
The push kick is fielded at the 40, taken back out close to midfield. It'll be great field position for Checotah. And what if, I mean, there aren't enough words to describe what Jacob Barrett has done in this first half, but I'm going to give it to you and let you try, Dion.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, he's been their offense, especially when they've needed to, you know, get things done. Running the football and passing the football, he's done it all for them.
Barrett's going to keep it, run right side, puts his foot in the ground, gets vertical and gets it all the way out to about the 45-yard line. Brings up about second down and 4, ball just short of the 45-yard line. Pass. Be a first down for Checotah. It'll be just short of the 40-yard line. That is where they will take over. Barrett in the backfield's got 2 wide receivers to either side. The give is to the running back. Running right side, Elijah Fuller still on his feet. Gets about out to the 35-yard line, and that's where he'll be brought down. Good pickup on first down.
Yeah, and Elijah Fuller has shown throughout this contest that he's a tough guy to bring down, running hard and picking up good yards, especially on first down.
He's a good complement to Barrett in the backfield.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a guy that you can trust to always get you positive yardage. They run him between the tackles, and he's pretty physical when he does get in there with the ball in his hands.
Fuller's still back there with Barrett. They're going to fake it to him. Barrett runs right side, keeper all the way. This time, Barrett's brought down in the backfield. Flag on the play as well. I'll have to see what is happening with the flag. It's going to go against Checotah. Brings up second down and longer now. We'll replay the down, but looks like it's going to be a loss of 10 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very long second down for the Wildcats, but you can see they're consistently blitzing up the middle, causing this offense to kind of run off tackle, especially Jacob Barrett. I think they decided that he likes to step up into the pocket and, you know, exit from the middle of the field. They're blitzing continuously through the middle there.
They bring 5, middle linebacker coming at Barrett. Barrett spins away from traffic, still on his feet. Barrett to the 40 before he's brought down from behind. But, I mean, that man is a cheat code out there right now.
Yeah, definitely doing some magical things with the football in his hand. Take a look. And he's got to be careful with that ball, because every time somebody comes from behind, I'm just nervous that they're going to knock it out. But look at this. A nice sidestep, keeping his head downfield. Gets tackled from behind there, but makes it a more manageable situation on third down for his offense.
Yeah, third down and 8. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far. Fuller is in the backfield with Barrett. Barrett fakes it to Fuller. Now he's going to give it. It was a read option. They give it to Fuller all the way up the middle, and this time Cascia comes up with a huge stop. Gain of about 1 for Fuller. That's where they'll stop him. Brings up 4th down inside the 40-yard line. They'll give him the 36, 37, but it's still 7 yards for a first down.
And you only run that kind of a play when you know you're going to go for it on 4th down. So let's see what they do here to try to pick up this first down.
2 wide receivers near side. Man in the slot is Matt Clover, pardon me.
You see, you got man defense over there, 1 safety over the top. Wouldn't be surprised if they go to Dan over here on the outside, vertical down the field.
Play clock's at 4. They snap the ball. Barrett, quarterback draw, up the middle. Barrett to the 30, to the 25, puts his foot in the ground, gets vertical, slides down just past the 20. But it almost looked like a design quarterback draw there that time from Barrett, and he does the brunt of the work, picks up the first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he decides to give himself up there and slides, and looks like Duran, number 17, comes and jumps on his back from behind. They kind of have to throw that flag because it's a dangerous situation there when a quarterback's giving himself up and sliding that way, and somebody comes in from behind and tackles him. It seemed like a bang-bang play, but still very dangerous. You gotta teach him young. When a quarterback goes in the slide, you can't jump on his back.
Yeah, you got to throw that flag, but unfortunately, now they're going to wave it off. They're going to wave it off for the late hit, but it's one of those situations, if you're Uran, that hasn't happened all night. That's the first time the Barrett slid all night, and you're coming in trying to make a play because you think he's going to stay on his feet, but then he slides.
Yeah, kind of giving him the Cam Newton treatment right there.
2 wide receivers, far side, gives to Fuller. Fuller prodding his way, running between the tackles, and Fuller's shifty back behind there. He's not a very big back. He's not going to overpower you by any stretch of imagination, but he's got good vision, and man, is he patient.
And I would like to see them continuously go to him with the football. I mean, every time he touches it, especially on first down, it's 5 yards every time they pick it up. If they want to string together some drives and, kind of milk this clock away, give it to number 25.
He's back there, staying in the game. Barrett's gone the whole way at quarterback. He's setting up the quarterback draw and nothing doing that time. Great play by the linebacker, Dylan Wilson, to get back in the backfield and take Barrett down for a loss. And
it looked like a busted play right there. It didn't look like everybody was on the same page. Take a look at this replay. Looks like it's a QB power zone read.
Twins either side of the field now. Barrett has got Fuller to join him in the backfield. 5 down linemen. The Cascia Hall Commandos counting with 4 linemen on the defensive side. They bring another middle linebacker, so they blitz 4. They got a spy on Barrett, and Barrett's going to be brought down from behind, that time by a defensive lineman. Good tackle by Grant Phillips to bring down Barrett, but Barrett picks up close to the first down. He's just going to be 3 yards short, and there's multiple options this time for the Wildcats.
You can see what that offense is trying to do, trying to spread out, trying to get these linebackers out of the box.
They bring in a tight end now. They try and shift along the defensive line, but Barrett draws the defense off sides with a hard count. And that's about the easiest way you can pick up the first down there. Get inside the 10-yard line, makes it 1st and goal, ball on the 4.
And it looked like the linebackers were trying to shift the defensive linemen into their proper gaps. It looked like one of the linebackers did kind of shift one of the defensive linemen a little aggressively there. I don't know if that's the guy who jumped off sides, but it looked like that way to me.
Twins far side, 1 wide receiver to the near. They've got a tight end to the right side. They're going to keep it all the way with Barrett. Powers ahead. He's going to be brought up 1 yard short. Gain of 4. He needed 5. Clock rolls. Checotah a yard from punching it in.
Yeah, and that time right there, Barrett seeing the short yardage that they need, he decides to use some brute force and just go straight up the middle.
Barrett with the hard count. He's going to see what he's working with now as he looks to the sideline.
I would go to the outside here.
Whispers Fuller steps in front of Barrett. Barrett all the way. Touchdown, Wildcats. Barrett up the middle, untouched as he crossed the goal line. And I don't know, were the Cascia Hall Commandos not set? Were they not ready? But Barrett made that one look easy.
Yeah, he certainly did. Don't listen to me. Just go right up the middle and get the easy 6 points.
Barrett punches it in, and if the Cascia Hall Commandos don't counter here with this swinging gate formation, then Checotah has shown the willingness to go for it on this 2-point conversion. They're going to go for it right now. They've got the entire offensive line lined up to the left. They snap it that way. Makes a man miss. It'll be close at the goal line. He's going to be brought down. It looked like Trenton Dan was the man that they snapped it to on the left side. Swinging gate doesn't work that time. So first down in the 2-point conversion doesn't work for the Wildcats, but they do punch it in with Barrett. See Barrett on the sideline there, and that man's got a lot of helmet stickers, and for good reason, ladies and gentlemen. 29-15, the score of the Wildcats on top of the Commandos.
Yeah, it looks like he's taking care of a little injury right there on his arm, but looks like he's going to be good to go.
We'll be right back here after a word from our sponsors here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. We've got a good game. 29-15, Cascia Hall is going to get the ball for the first time this second half, and 5:36 left to go in the third quarter. Good job that time by the Wildcats of commanding the ball, taking time off the clock, and getting a score out of it.
Yeah, they certainly were. That drive was all Jacob Bear and my man number 25, Elijah Fuller, doing some good work on the ground, enough to pick up some first downs and get into the end zone.
It's been a minute since Cascia Hall has gotten the ball on the offensive side. The Wildcats were able to punch it in as this one kicks out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
So a nice kick by the kicker there, number 35 for the Wildcats.
Angel Giannis. Giannis kicks it out. Cascia Hall takes over at the 15. As you said, great job by Checotah to pin Cascia Hall deep, but here comes the Commandos. As I said, it's been a minute since they've gotten the ball on the offensive side. Checotah had to counter with 2 quick scores at the end to end the half and to start the second half.
And in most of that first half, they played a lot of man-to-man defense, did the Wildcats. Let's see what they go with here, and it looks like they're staying with that man-to-man.
Yeah, they have Barrett as the deep safety back. Henderson rolls right, throws under pressure, complete over the middle at the 20, just short of the first down to the 23-yard line, complete that time to Aiden Hicks. First time we've called Hicks' name, just a freshman on the year, but I mean, he was just running open over the middle. Cascia Hall going with the hurry up. 2 wide receivers either side of the field. A tight end in the set as well. Henderson going to run it himself. Up the middle, first down, brought down 30-yard line, picks up 6. He only needed 1, and the Commandos have something brewing here on their first drive in the second half.
Yeah, and it looks like Henderson is a little shaken up there, holding that shoulder. Something that seemed to happen on defense, and now seems like it's ailing him on the offensive side of things as he lands on that same shoulder.
Cascia Hall with the ball, clock rolling. They give up the middle, ball's on the ground, fallen on by Henderson. Good job that time by the Wildcats to just get a hand in there and punch it out. Loss of 5 on the play for Cascia Hall. That's not what you wanted on first down.
Yeah, it looked like it was number 79, Kyler Pelosi, coming in and making the tackle and getting a hand in that, knocking the ball loose.
Kyler Pouncil, just a sophomore offensive lineman, defensive lineman. Checotah going with 3 down linemen. They put another guy out there. As Cascia Hall's just going to throw this one up deep, and there's a lot of contact down the field, and they're going to get him for pass interference.
I need a replay on that right now because it looked like the receiver was the one that grabbed the cornerback and pulled him on top of him.
Brendan Dan is the man in coverage. Let's take another look.
You can see the wide receiver clearly has the shoulders of the cornerback and pulls him on top.
Take another look at the replay here. It's a lot of contact down the field as a safety. Dion is vehemently shaking his head no.
And that's just frustration right there because, I mean, so many times it's so hard to play this game defensively, and you can't allow the referees to also be the reason why it's a bad play on defense.
It's 15 yards for Cascia Hall, a first down, and Checotah had him pinned deep. Instead, the Commandos pick up a first down. They send a man in motion. Everybody to the right side. They throw a screen pass complete up to the 30, to the 40, to the 50. And there goes Trent Westbrook. Westbrook is getting involved now here in the second half, and the Commandos move into Wildcat territory.
And that's it. And defensively, this just got to be frustrating because you have them backed up, you have them pinned, you're making good plays, and you're about to get off the field with a 3 and out, and just a flag continues that drive to keep going.
Again, passing the flats. That time it was close to being batted down. Instead, it's a pickup of 5. And you can see the past 2 plays, Cascia Hall has gone to a screen pass to kind of spread out the Checotah defense.
Yeah, now they're starting to go to that quick game that they had success with there in the first half, mainly in the second quarter, allowing them to get down the field and pick up some good yards.
Second down and 5. Tight end on the right side, everybody else on the left. Near side, they got a stack formation near side. Henderson looking right, throws right, and just overthrows everybody. It didn't look like there was really anybody around. And there's going to come the flag. Nobody was in the area. Henderson's still in the pocket.
Yeah, and that looks like it's going to be intentional grounding.
I'll tell you that the winner of this game is going to play the winner of Plainview and John Marshall. And at halftime, Plainview was well ahead of John Marshall. The score was 42-0, I do believe. We'll see if there's an updated score right now. As the grounding goes against Cascia Hall, it's a loss of down. They do move them back as well, so it's 3rd down, 17. Plainview is still at halftime. They're leading John Marshall 42-0, so it looks like the winner of this game is going to travel to Plainview. Cascia Hall going deep. The throw from Henderson is incomplete. Intended target that time is Zachary Urin. It looked like Urin wanted a flag, but nothing doing that time.
And that was a great defensive play by Brendan Dan, doing a good job of staying calm, running step for step with the wide receiver, getting his eyes back and not panicking when the ball's in the air.
Down by 14 points, 3rd quarter winding down. Checotah is going to punt this one away, or at least they're in punt formation. They send a man in motion across the formation. Punts away, and it's a good one. It's going to be fair caught by Barrett at the 21-yard line. It's going to be 80-yard stand between Checotah and the end zone, but you feel like if Checotah can get into the end zone here, then put themselves up by 3 scores and really demoralize Cascia Hall.
Yeah, and it looks like it would be able to put some distance in between them and let them relax a little bit and play with some cushion, just like you said.
This is a big drive for both teams.
It could really put away this Cascia Hall bunch.
29-15 the score. Jacob Barrett in the gun. Gives to Elijah Fuller. Fuller puts his foot in the ground, tries to get vertical, but he's going to lose a yard. He danced in the backfield a little bit before deciding to lunge forward. Loss of 1, brings up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, and that's a good job on the outside by the defensive back, Zachary Uran, coming up and making a nice tackle.
if that Plainview and John Marshall score holds, which we do believe it will, with Plainview up 42-0, these teams would have to travel to Plainview, Oklahoma to play Plainview.
It's a long ways away.
But both of these teams are trying to keep their season alive. Nothing set in stone yet. Screen pass complete to Dan. Pickup of about 4 brings up 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, that's number 5, Trenton Dan. It wasn't as an impressive catch as he performed there at halftime, but it was pretty nifty to go into the half. This time just a nice little screen pass to pick up some good yards to make it a favorable spot on 3rd down.
This is when Barrett has been very useful in the QB sneak or scrambling formation. He rolls left, throws, got a man behind the defense, complete at the 45. There goes, nobody around him. Brendan Dan, touchdown Wildcats. Dan got behind the defense, and the Wildcats go up 3 scores.
And just calm, cool, and collective. No panic about him. The same DB that you saw play the ball perfectly over there on the sideline is the guy streaking down the middle of the field, and you could see him. As soon as the ball came in his hands, it was like butter, baby.
Looks like Checotah is going to be fine with kicking the extra point. A man hobbling off the field. You see Jacob Barrett, the man that threw that pass. Great pass that time, but a worrisome sight for Checotah. Man hobbling off the field is Brendan Dan. And Hell Giannis's kick is up, and it is good. 36-15 the score. Let's take another look at this replay.
Yeah, you can see a sprint out pass. Dan gets behind and does a good job of locating the football and just takes it on into the end zone. That's a house call, baby.
It is indeed, and looks like the secondary kind of got stuck with their eyes in the backfield focusing on Barrett, and that's what having Barrett back there does for you.
Yeah, you can't, with all that speed, you got to focus on your job and your duty right there, man-to-man defense. He just outruns the cornerback and takes it all the way into the end zone.
Looks like Brendan Dan's getting some help on the sidelines over there, stretching him out, but came up with a huge, he ran a long ways. Dion, he might need a short break over there.
Yeah, he certainly has, playing both the ways, safety and wide receiver.
He could be dealing with cramps on the sideline. He could be.
Looked like they were stretching him out just a little bit over there.
Sometimes you don't put as much emphasis as the kickoff is away and is fielded just short of the 15. Taking left side, bounces off one tackler, makes another man miss. Does a lot of dancing back there as the kick returner, J.C. Ward, but Ward is brought down. No harm, no foul for really either team as Ward picks up yardage all the way to the 27-yard line. So he scored 36-15, and
it's a good sight. Number 3, Brendan Dan back on the field for the Wildcats.
As they're saying, in these colder games, you don't necessarily put as much emphasis on hydrating because you're not sweating as much and you just don't think about it, but you still do have to stay hydrated.
Yeah, certainly.
Ball on the 27, wide receiver split out to either side. Henderson, 5-yard stop, got a man complete to the 40 to the 50. He's going to be run out of bounds there. Zachary Urin had his defender just fall down. That time, Urin gets the best of Malachi Harris and puts Cascia Hall into Wildcat territory.
Yeah, it looks like he just slipped down in the route. It's unfortunate. Luckily enough for Checotah, though, Jacob Barrett nearby and has the speed to chase down Urin and push him out of bounds.
Yeah, Barrett is the great eraser back there. You make a mistake on the front line, Barrett, well, you might not get some of the yardage back. Barrett will allow you to not make the mistake even bigger. Pass complete. That time to Dylan Wilson. Wilson's picks up about 5 yards, brings up 2nd and 5. Cascia Hall moving the ball. Clock rolling. About 30 seconds left to go third quarter before We hit 12 minutes left to go in one of these teams' season. Twins split out either side. Henderson drops back, 3-step drop. Steps up, throws over the middle of the field. He's got a man, lays out, incomplete. Intended target that time was once again Zachary Urin, and Urin had a step but just couldn't come down with the ball.
And he just misses it by a fingertip. He lays out and tries to show the effort to make the grab, and it's just out of his outstretched arms.
Urin's been a favorite target of Henderson tonight, and he's come up with some big plays. He just couldn't come down with that one. 2 wide receivers near side, 1 to the far. As Henderson's all alone in the backfield. 2 tight ends set as well. Henderson rolls right. They're going to go for it all. Jump ball. Who wants it more? And it is knocked down that time by Trenton Dan. Ball was in the air. Dan gets the best of the intended target, Aiden Hicks. And it brings up 4th down.
Yeah, and we, like Trenton Dan showed before halftime there, you're not out-leaping him. Take a look at the replay right here. Enough time, he sees the go route, and it's just a jump ball situation, and Trenton Dan is able to get a fingertip on it before the wide receiver does.
Clock stops, 7 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter. 4th down and 5. Cascia Hall stays on the field. Ball spotted, 43-yard line. Henderson in the gun, trips to the right side to throw a jump pass over the middle of the field. It's intercepted. Comes in a late flag. We're going to have to see what the flag is. The ball is intercepted. If it was knocked down, the ball would be on the 43. Instead, it was intercepted at the 34.
Gets tackled by his own teammate as well.
He does get tackled by his own team. We're just going to have to sort out what the flag was. The flag came in at the end of the play. It came from the back judge.
It's interesting if it's holding in the secondary. That would make it a 1st down.
Cascia Hall's already had a penalty that has extended this drive so far. Pass interference will go against Checotah. Let's take another look.
Let's see the replay here. I'm wondering if they're calling it on Jacob Barrett. It looked like he might have had a hand on Uran as he was coming on the slant across the middle.
This is going to be the last play of the quarter, more than likely. 3 seconds to go on the clock. Henderson looking left the entire way. Comes back right. They got a setup, and they got a bunch of blockers for J.C. Ward. Ward, 10, 5, touchdown, Cascia Hall. And don't stick a fork in them just yet, because the Commandos are sneaking up on the Wildcats.
And they've done a good job all night with these trickeration, misdirection plays. And this time, once again, they make the Checotah Wildcats defense pay.
Looks like Cascia Hall is going to go for the extra point. Last play of the 3rd quarter is a big one as J.C. Ward comes up huge for the Commandos. The extra point is up, and it's good, and it's a 14-point game left to go. Let's take another look.
You can see the running back slips out of the backfield. Just a nice screen play. Good job by the offensive lineman getting downfield and picking up some blocks, and he takes it all the way into the end zone.
36-22 your score. Not a normal football score, but we're going to go to break, and we've got lots of football left. 12 minutes left to go in somebody's season. We're going to see who. 36-22 here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week.
This broadcast is a copyright of Bravado Wireless. This game and broadcast should not be reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed without the express written consent of Bravado Wireless and its management.
12 minutes left to go from Checotah, Oklahoma, and we've got 12 minutes to decide the winner to go to Plainview, and 12 minutes left in somebody's season, Dion.
Yes.
36-22 the score.
Certainly is. It's going to be a fourth quarter for one of these teams. The onside kick.
Ball's on the ground. There's a scrum for it right around the 47-yard line. Cascia Hall thinks that they have it. We're going to wait for an official to come in. A lot of white jerseys pointing towards the end zone. And Checotah thinks they have it, and Checotah does. Checotah Wildcats ball, and that was an opportunity for the Commandos to get right back in this game.
It certainly was, and now there's a flag.
And that ball was loose on the ground for a while. That's a dangerous, dangerous play. And
now, there's somebody threw a flag. Let's hold on and see what this is about.
Take a look at our white hat for today's game. That's Steve Bartman.
Looks a sportsmanlike call on the Cascia Hall.
Unsportsmanlike will put the ball all the way into Commando territory. He keeps stepping off steps. He's going to get all the way to 38. It's just a change of fortunes there for Cascia Hall. They came so close to getting the ball down 14. Now they've got to stop the Wildcats, and they only have 38 yards between them and Paydirt.
And I tell you one thing right now, the ball should go between the 2 and the 5 of Elijah Fuller's jersey, and they need to continue to give him the ball throughout this drive. That's a guy who can milk the clock.
They do not give it to Fuller. They're going to let Barrett keep it. Barrett runs outside left tackle, shakes the tackle, and gets down to the 36-yard line. There's a flag that comes in from behind the Cascia Hall defense. Looks like the penalty is going to go against the Wildcats. Holding against Checotah backs them up. If Cascia Hall chooses to accept it, they do. It backs up the Wildcats 10 yards, and ball will be spotted now on the 47-yard line.
And I was trying to figure out what number they called for holding. I couldn't see what the referee signaled, but it looked like it was thrown in the vicinity of the offensive line. So
5 down linemen and a tight end for Checotah. 2 wide receivers near side, one to the far, Elijah Fuller in the backfield with Barrett. And Checotah is going to take a timeout. 11:50 left to go in the fourth quarter. Let you know this game is brought to you by Bravado Wireless. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Help us in our mission to connect communities by liking and sharing tonight's game so all your friends and neighbors can enjoy it as well. And also, if you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, there will be more of Bravado TV's original programming. Tuesdays at 7 p.m., catch Jacob Toby and, hey, my man Dion Amade in End Zone as they break down everything happening in Oklahoma sports.
yeah, great show that me and Jacob do on Tuesday nights. The End Zone. It's fun, it's fast, and it's moving. Everybody check it out Tuesday nights.
What you're going to be talking about this week on End Zone, Dion?
Hopefully an Oklahoma State victory. See what happens there in Waco as Oklahoma goes on and takes care of them. And TU having a bye week, but another tough game coming up next week for those guys. So, and a lot about high school football and the matchups we saw during week 1.
2 wide receivers split out to either side. Barrett's going to pass. Now he's going to run. Checks up the middle, jukes one man, and gets all the way out just short of the 40-yard line. They'll call it the 39. Barrett able to pick up 8 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 12. Seth Campbell joined alongside former Oklahoma State Dion Amade. It is our pleasure to bring you his last 11 minutes of football from Checotah, Oklahoma. We've had a fantastic game, back and forth all the way through, Dion.
Yeah, it certainly has been a tale of each team taking over a quarter. Right now, Checotah, really ran the table in the third. See what they can do here fourth.
Pressure being applied Jacob Barrett throws it. Kind of looked like he just threw that one blind, but he knew where he was going. He finds his man, Trenton Dan. Picks up nice yardage and brings up third down and manageable.
And I was surprised to see that, Jacob Barrett didn't take off with that one. It looked like he had some room in front of him in between two Cascia Hall defenders. It's a nice window that he could have ran through there, but with the pass makes it a very manageable third down. See what they call here.
Jacob Barrett is flanked on the right by Fuller. Barrett's going to keep himself, run right tackle, and who else? Barrett to the 30, to the 20, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 15, but we do have a flag back here, and that is in the vicinity of holding, Dion.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration right now on that offensive line.
The frustrating thing, too, is that the clock stops right now as they try and reset everything. And if you're Checotah, you're trying to milk that clock up 14 points.
For the most part, this has been a pretty clean game, except for this series. The flags have been very, rare. But this drive alone, 2 flags, that's kind of hurt the Wildcats tremendously.
Third down and 15. We'll call it 16. Jacob Barrett looking left the entire way. Now he's going to run that way, running out of room, throws it up in the air, and it is going to be in and out of the hands. It was a great job that time by Brendan Dan to go up and play defense. It looked like that time that the cornerback, Trent Westbrook, was going to come down with the interception.
Yeah, certainly did. Dan doing a good job of coming in from behind. He also is a safety for the Checotah Wildcats, and he comes in from behind and pokes that one away, leaving his offense an opportunity at 4th down.
Kind of looked like Barrett just threw this one up here, and Brendan Dan able to knock it away.
I've got to imagine that they're going to pooch punt this one.
So Barrett takes a few extra steps back now. And he's going to fake the pooch punt, running left. Barrett to the 40, Barrett to the 30. Barrett cuts back to the 25, to the 20-yard line. Barrett does some magical things with his legs. Just when you thought Barrett was going to pooch punt it, he takes it himself, picks up the first down, and the Checotah drive stays alive.
And he really was going to punt that one away, but there were some unblocked defensive ends that come and rush the punter and lose contain in the process, and because of that, he's able to get upfield, and Barrett's able to get the first down.
That man is a cheat code. Barrett in the gun. This time he's going to give to Fuller. Nothing doing for Fuller. He's brought down in the backfield. Good tackle by Grant Phillips. Fuller gets the carry. Nothing doing that time. The clock does continue to run, though.
I still stay with my original statement. They have to get the ball in number 25 hands. Right there, somebody didn't take care of their job on the offensive line, but between the tackles on those power plays, Fuller's been able to pick up a lot of positive yardage for you guys.
Said loss of 1 is actually a loss of 3, brings up 2nd and 13. 2 wide receivers far side along with the tight end on the far side. Barrett, quarterback keeper all the way, probing right side. And he'll be brought down just short of the 15. He needs to get to the 12. But even then, Barrett takes 2nd and 13 and makes it 3rd and 5. The Eastern Michigan commit, the 3-star, is going to go play wide receiver for Eastern Michigan. Well, he's shown out at quarterback tonight.
He certainly has.
Read option, gives it to Fuller. Fuller up the middle, picks up a few yards, but he's going to be brought down short. And you said this earlier, Dion, that's a similar play that they ran on 3rd down and intermediate in the first half, and 3rd down and intermediate, and you only run that play if you're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you certainly do. I mean, especially at this position in the field. And, them not showing that they've been wanting to kick the ball a lot tonight. Imagine they're going for it on 4th down here.
We'll call it 4th and 3, a hard count from Barrett doesn't draw anybody offsides. Looks back to the sideline, has the play. Barrett going to keep it all the way. Keep it in your playmaker's hands. This time, though, a host of Cascia Hall defenders bring him down. Nothing doing for Barrett. Turnover on downs. The Commandos stay alive with 7:24 left to go in the fourth quarter and down 2 scores.
And that was a big-time play by the defense because all they need to do was, get a quick score here. It doesn't even need to be quick, and then they can onside kick and try to get another opportunity on the field. It's going to be very important for this defense here to get a stop and get off the field and get their offense another opportunity to milk this clock.
Something else to keep an eye out on, you can see on the bottom of your screen those 3 dots beside Cascia Hall. That means they have all 3 of their timeouts, and they can utilize them next time if they can get a score here on this drive and they don't get that onside kick. Henderson looking left, got a man wide open at the sticks. First down and more that time. Still on his feet as he's brought down by a few defenders from Checotah. Pass intended and caught by Urin. Zachary Urin been the favorite target, and Henderson comes up big there and gets Cascia Hall a first down on their first play.
Yeah, Urin does a good job. Nice route, comeback route that is. Gets the cornerback a little turned around. Luckily enough for him, the safety, Jacob Barrett, is able to come over and make the solid tackle.
Henderson looking left. We're going to throw it up to his man. Incomplete. That was Westbrook, the intended target. Westbrook slams the ground as he makes it back towards the huddle, but I mean, it looked like he was overthrown by Henderson this time.
Yeah, it really did, and it looked like the wide receiver pushed the cornerback down in the process. I don't know if the coaching staff was hollering at the cornerback for going down or at the ref for putting him down.
36-22 the score. Ball just short of the 30-yard line of the Wildcats. Cascia Hall runs screen pass, left side. Not much doing this time. They'll pick up 3. Henderson screen. That time, not as successful as screens in the past. Urin was on the receiving end, but picks up 3, but brings up third down. And Checotah will change 3 yards for the time that's run off the clock every single time.
And this is a third down. It's going to be important for Cascia Hall to try to pick up this third down because it puts them in a very tough situation on fourth down if they don't.
3rd and 7. Henderson looking deep. He's got a man over the middle of the field, and he overshoots him. Andrew Worthen was running down the middle of the field. He got behind the defense, got behind the safety. Barrett was there, but Henderson couldn't hit him.
And this is a decision that you have to make. 6 minutes left in the game. You're on your own 30-yard line. Do you go for it on fourth down, or do you decide to punt the ball away so you don't give this Checotah offense great field position? And it looks like they're going to go for it here. Kind of almost the play of the game on the line.
2 wide receivers near side, tight end near side as well. Henderson goes far side, complete. First down, Cascia Hall. Pass complete to Andrew Worthen. Huge play that time from Henderson. Huge play by head coach Joe Medina to decide to go for it, and it pans out.
Yeah, and they go with the play that's been working all night. Too much cushion from the cornerback. Harris on the outside. Urin runs a perfect route. Nice comeback to the outside and picks up the first down.
Snap is high. Henderson throws deep. Toss-up balls just wide. Malachi Harris did a good job that time of staying with his man. They've been picking on Harris all night long, and he did a good job that time to stay in front and not let the receiver to get behind him.
Yeah, he does a good job running step for step with the wide receiver down the sideline, although mistimes his jump just a little bit there. But still, good job of being there and keeping the receiver from getting the ball in his arms.
Plainview is beating John Marshall 49-0, so it looks like the winner of this game is definitely going to have to go to Plainview. But in other news around 3A, Marlow and Kingfisher are tied at 28 points apiece in the fourth quarter, so we'll make sure to keep an eye out on that game as well. Pass, left side, complete that time Picks up about 7 yards. Cascia Hall needs to go. I'm trying to see who that pass is complete to. It looks like it was Cooper Mullen. Cascia Hall's in the no huddle, hurry up. Under 6 minutes to go. They're down 2 scores. They need to score in a hurry. Henderson looking left side again. Pass complete again. First down, should stop the clock.
You can see Harrison taking out a little bit of his frustration right there with a nice hard tackle on the sideline.
Cooper Mullen with back-to-back passes complete to him, moves the chains.
And Harrison has to be careful on this sideline because they're lulling him to sleep right now with these 5-yard hitch routes, but he's going to get a double move, and he just got one right there going down the field.
And there was a lot of contact at that 5-yard, and that is what Joe Medina is begging for on the sideline. There was a lot of contact. He did that double move, and Medina, if you could see him on the sideline, is irate.
And he is in the face of the ref over there. And right now, you gotta say, and I would have to take another look at this replay because exactly what I told you was gonna happen happened. They were lulling him to sleep with the hitch, and then an excellent double move route. You got a collision right there. He collisions. The ball's not in the air. It looks like it's within the yard marker for him to make that collision. And it might be just a nice play by the cornerback and a good job by Harris on the outside.
We've seen that a few times happen, though, where Henderson has got a man open and he just can't find him down the field.
And there's going to be a timeout for Cascia Hall right now.
Cascia Hall has to spend a timeout, and that's huge because they can't keep that timeout on the defensive end, and it comes from them not being prepared because they were complaining about the penalty. Well, we're going to take a timeout here, too. This might be our last opportunity. 36-22. There is 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and we've got a fantastic game for you. Buckle in. 14 points separate these two teams here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. You saw there on your screen, that's head coach of Cascia Hall, Joe Medina, as we welcome you back here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. That man has been to 22 straight playoffs at Cascia Hall as a head coach. Henderson pressured up the middle. He's going to be brought down, wrapped up, not necessarily brought down. The play is thrown dead. That's a sack and a huge time for the Wildcats.
And that's number 74. Bobby Morton getting back there, taking on the blockers and making the sack.
Third down and 18 now for the Commandos. The ball goes back to the other side of the field. Commandos now in their own territory. Henderson, they're going to set up a screen play left side. Pass complete to J.C. Ward. J.C. Ward spins at the 45.
And
be
that's
brought down there.
Great job. Great job. The only man in the vicinity who could make the play and stop that from being a first down. Number 1, Harris, from his cornerback position, made a big play on that double move route on the outside. This time a big tackle to stop them on third down.
4th down and 8. This could be the game. 4 minutes to go. Screen pass, slant pass right at that first down marker. Zachary Ewing comes up with it, and it's going to depend on the spot.
And it looks like it's going to be enough for the first down.
They have run that slant pass all game long, Dion, when they needed a completion. And that time they get it and keep their season alive.
Check out the replay right here.
Pass was behind him, but a good job by Ewing to adjust, catch the ball, move the chains. Inside the 40 go the Commandos. Henderson looking left the entire way, rolls that way. He's going to go deep, throws it up. Malachi Harris in the area. Ball's bobbled. Is it caught?
Did he catch it?
It's caught right at the 2-yard line. What a catch that time by the Commandos, and they move right within striking position.
And that's a great job by the wide receiver of keeping concentration. And this is why they teach you to catch the ball at the highest point. They let it come down, and it comes down in the arms of the wide receiver.
Who else but Zachary Ewing comes up with the catch? 2 wide receivers near side. Henderson rolls that way. Looking back in the end zone. Throws. Intercepted! Intercepted by the Wildcats. Still on his feet. There goes What just happened?
And it looks like he is cramping up on the 15-yard line right now. Take a look at the play.
No.
This is the last play that happened that got them on the 2-yard line. An incredible clutch by Urin. And then you see the interception return. You see him running down the sideline. Look at the excellent block that's picked up over here by Harris. Harris does a good job getting his face across, but he trips. And he looks to be like he was out of gas and he was cramping up. He's still being stretched out over there on the 13-yard line. The refs are having a conference in the middle of the field.
I don't know what's going on. There's a flag. That's what it is. There's a flag all the way back at the 10-yard line. Oh, my goodness, Dion. Trenton Dan ran 100 yards on that play and doesn't get credit for a touchdown because he tripped up by himself.
Seems like it's going to be a block in the back on the Wildcats.
But that would be on the return, which means that the Wildcats would keep the ball. Take another look at the replay. I mean, Trenton Dan, what a play to jump that route. That comes up huge. Cascia Hall was right there about to punch it into the end zone. And luckily, I think, for Trenton Dan, that this play is going to come back because he would have gotten endless grief from everybody. He would have gotten endless grief from everybody for not punching that one into the end zone by himself all alone and tripping up.
But here's my question. If they're bringing the ball all the way back over here to the 5-6 yard line, is this where the block in the back transpired? Because it looked like the block in the back was further down the field.
I would assume that this would be where the block in the back transpired. It's where the flag was. Barrett's going to keep it himself, runs right side, picks up 2 yards, and you got to assume that the Wildcats are going to keep this one on the field, or on the ground. 2:53 left to go in the fourth quarter and counting. Cascia Hall is going to call their second timeout of the game. This is where you having to use one of those timeouts on offense really comes back to hurt the Commandos.
And here's the thing. This Cascia Hall defense, it's very important that you get a stop and a 3 and out here because the situation presents itself. You could still have great field position for your offense. There's still a lot of time left on the clock where they get a quick score, onside kick, and get the ball back. So for the other side, Checotah, it's very important that you get this first down and continue to milk the clock.
You get this first down, and you could almost seal this game. It might be a few seconds short. It just depends on how long these few plays here. But if you get this first down.
And you got to remember, Cascia Hall still having 2 timeouts.
I thought they called the timeout on offense, did they not? So they only have 1, correct?
So you're right. The math is correct. There should be just 1 timeout left for Cascia Hall.
Play clock at 2, or pardon me, not the play clock. Game clock at 2:53. Play clock will wind on the official's whistle, which is right now. Jacob Barrett in the gun, his heels on the 2 yard line. He's got Elijah Fuller beside him. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Barrett's going to keep it all the way. Runs outside, right tackle. Powers forward, picks up maybe a yard, maybe nothing. They're keeping it on the ground with Barrett. And good job by Cascia Hall as they call another timeout.
And this is going to make it a 3rd and 8. And if they have to punt this ball away, it's going to put them in really good field position.
You accomplished one thing if you're Checotah. You made the Commandos take their timeouts. You accomplished that. And a lot of things have to fall right for Cascia Hall to really find themselves in this game. But they're not out of it.
They're not out of it at all, especially with desperation mode coming into effect. This is Oklahoma State playoffs, man. You win, you advance, you lose, you go home. So there is no time to quit on this play or this game. You got to play to the final whistle and to that clock hits 0.
What's the saying? You might as well bring it all out now. They're not coming back tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow.
With this game, Dion, there's been back and forth crazy plays. We've had somebody got mossed right at the end of the first half. They've had a bobbled ball for Cascia Hall, and they get complete at the 2-yard line. They're about to punch it in, and then an interception that almost gets returned back, but a penalty, and then cramps happen. It's been crazy, so definitely this game is not over. Big third down upcoming for Checotah. Jacob Barrett in the gun. He's got Fuller beside him, 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. They got a tight end as well on the near side of the field. Barrett looks to the sideline, has got the play.
Cascia Hall playing man-to-man defense so they can load that box.
Yeah, they bring a blitz, and they're going to bring down Barrett. Barrett keeps it all the way, picks up 3. He gives his punter a little more cushion, so he's not going to have to punt out of the back of his end zone, but he's still going to have to punt out of his end zone because he did not pick up that first down.
And you know the punter is Jacob Barrett, so although you wouldn't think that they would fake the punt here, especially backed up in their own territory.
It does give you the opportunity to let Barrett make a play if something breaks.
But you got to remember, this defense did a good job of rushing the punter, although Barrett was able to make some things happen because he got out of the contain of the defense. This offensive line has to protect and not allow them to get back there and block the punt.
Checotah lets the play clock run all the way down to 1 second, calls a timeout, and that's where we are. The play clock, or pardon me, the game clock is at 1:58. 1 minute, 58 seconds left to go. 4th down and 7 upcoming for Checotah. Take a deep breath. As I said before we went to our last break, buckle in. This has been entertaining. We knew that we were getting an entertaining matchup, and we're getting one for sure, Dion. We're going to take a short break here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. Our score 36-22 in favor of Checotah. Welcome back to the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. 1:58 left to go. Wildcats up by 14. Looks like they are not in punting formation right now on 4th and 7. Let's see if they could draw Cascia Hall off sides. And there is going to be a penalty flag coming from the far side of the field, but it's going to be a false start against Checotah.
And that one hurts. That one hurts a lot, Seth. Because all that room that you had built up to, give your punter some space to punt the football, that was all for naught.
1:58, play clock rolling. Barrett gets it, punts it away, just is able to get it away, but it's not a very good punt. Ball hits at the 34-yard line, scoots up to the 36. There's a late flag on the field. The flag settles at the 17-yard line. We're going to have to sort that out, and that could have huge implications on this play as well.
And again, a teaching moment for the Checotah Wildcats players on this punt unit. There was no need to touch the ball right there. I mean, the punter had gone away. Let that clock run for as long as it can.
Checotah, the penalty is on Checotah.
You got to be cautious here because I'm looking over here at the Checotah sideline, and it looks like number 5, Trenton Dan, is still on the bench over here, and he's one of their best cornerbacks over there on the outside.
The penalty on Checotah puts the ball all the way to the 21. Only 21 yards to Cascia Hall. They can punch it in easily here. Henderson looking left the entire way. Throws middle of the field. Intercepted again. Checotah with huge defensive plays back to back. That time, who else? Jacob Barrett. Interception. And that just might do it, Dion.
And it's a perfect play. Look at him come from underneath and make the play to jump in front of the wide receiver and make the interception. Just a heck of a grab and an interception, and one to seal it up for the Checotah Wildcats.
Now, Henderson's pass was to Andrew Wharton, but it didn't make it there. Now this is a tricky situation because Barrett can't kneel it here. He's going to have to keep it himself. He runs forward, just full steam ahead, and he's going to pick up plenty of yardage now to give Checotah an opportunity to, I don't know, can they kneel it? Is there enough time? They probably need to pick up a first down, don't they, Dion?
It looks like they're going to call the victory formation. It looks like they do have
It's second down. If they run the clock all the way down, it'll be inside. With the play clock running, it'll be inside a minute. They should have enough time. But Barrett's going to have to milk this clock all the way down until it says 1. Play clock at 10 now, so it'll be right at a minute. You'd also like to see Barrett maybe hesitate a second or two before he takes a knee. He doesn't. He takes the knee now. Play clock resets to 40, and yeah, that should do it. One more kneel down for the Wildcats, and they will have this thing in the bag. 36-22 will be your final score, pending something miraculous from the Cascia Hall Commandos. And we saw a back-and-forth game in the first half and a back-and-forth game in the second half, but eventually Checotah was able to take over on the defensive side and come up with a few big plays to give their team the win.
Yeah, very impressive performance by the Checotah offense. And honestly, they just did all they needed to get a victory here. And what a game by that player right there, number 2, Jacob Barrett.
One of the best preseasons and performances we've seen this season. Hats off to Jacob Barrett. Hats off to the Checotah Wildcats. They came in with a fantastic game plan. And also, I mean, hats off to the Commandos. We'll start there, Dion. Cascia Hall, they really had a game plan, and they were able to adjust. You know, Checotah came out in man-to-man defense. It didn't really look like Cascia Hall was able to counter that. And then all of a sudden, after 2 drives, they start running what you call man beaters, and we're able to get right back into this game.
Yeah, short, quick routes, you know, slants and things that put the cornerbacks in the man-to-man coverage that they were in on their backs and giving that quarterback an excellent place to throw the ball. So they made the adjustments, and the adjustments were effective, but the big plays by the Checotah Wildcats on offense was just too much for this Cascia Hall defense to overcome. And because of that, the Checotah Wildcats will advance to the next round of the playoffs, and Cascia Hall season will end.
Yeah, you take a look now at your screen. These are the playoff pairings for Class 3A. Heritage Hall with a huge lead over Purcell, so we assume that they will advance. Marlowe and Kingfisher were tied last time that we saw that score. We'll have to take another look and see. Plainview and John Marshall. Plainview with a big lead, so the winner of this game will have to go play there, and they will go to Plainview. That's where Checotah will go. Sulphur, Perkins, Tryon, Lincoln Christian had a huge lead over Inola. Berry Hill and Stigler. Great matchups all the way around, and it started with 16 today. Dion is going to end with 8.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely, this is the first week of the playoffs, and things tend to magically happen in the first round. Right there, you saw some great plays by some great athletes. Trenton Dan, hopefully he's okay for the next round and he's able to bounce back. But, I mean, not only him, Jacob Barrett, you saw Harris, the cornerback. He had a tough night. He had some tough competition over on the outside. He was able to overcome and make some big plays and help this Wildcat bunch get into the next round of the playoffs. Just a number of guys doing excellent things throughout the game that propelled them into the next round.
And welcome up to the booth. Seth Campbell joined alongside Dion Amade, former Oklahoma State safety. I want to thank you for joining us here on this broadcast. And Dion, we saw a lot of good things from Checotah. What can they work on and execute better against Plainview?
Well, they're going to have to, be able to string together some drives. They were explosive offensively. They did a number of things, but getting the ball down the field and just moving the chains is something that's going to be important during the playoffs. You got to be able to pick up 4 yards when you need it. Explosive plays is not going to get it done versus everybody in this classification because of the fact that there's some athletes that comes across the board and they do some great things.
Yeah, let's talk about some of these replays here on the Bravado Wireless game of the week. We picked a good game to come to. Henderson did a good job managing for Cascia Hall, but he just didn't come up quite enough. As you see, a great play there by the wide receiver that time, Zachary Urin. He didn't come up with the big plays, and he had some trouble throwing the ball down the field despite this play right here.
Yeah, just a nice concentration by Urin. Just when they needed some big plays, they went to number 17. But this guy had probably the 2 biggest plays of the night. Trenton Dan doing a good job with the interception and taking it all the way down to about the 10-yard line before it was brought back because of a hold or a block in the back. We didn't ever get a real confirmation on what that call was. but also not only that, the catch, the touchdown that he had before halftime to put up this team by 2 touchdowns was very big. Right here, you're going to see the interception by Jacob Barrett coming underneath. That's a technique that they teach cornerbacks at a very advanced, age, where you can, because you have the speed and the athleticism, you can come underneath and make a diving interception or a catch that not a lot of people can do. Right there, Jacob Barrett, he's a superb athlete. That's why he's going to go on to the next level and play this game. And you saw just there that he was a very good athlete indeed and came up and made that big-time play for the Wildcats.
Yeah, we saw Barrett come up with the play of the game that didn't even count. There was a penalty on it, but he ran 40 yards across the field and ran back another 40 yards the other way. He's got number 2 on his chest, and he really did look like Johnny Manziel on a few of those plays.
It's more like a Cam Newton performance, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Cam Newton's as well. It was a fantastic performance from Jacob Barrett, and what do you want to see from him going forward, as we said, against Plainview, a team that the farther you go into playoffs, the tougher and tougher the competition is going to be.
Well, honestly, I don't think you can ask a lot too much from him anymore. I mean, he's done a lot of the things that you need from him. I mean, with his performance, if they get 11 guys on the field playing like him, they could probably go into the state championships and go in single-handedly and win that game. But it's going to take another 11 guys with different numbers on their back, and they're going to need some top-notch performance from those guys, not just Jacob Barrett.
Yeah, and we'll take a look right now at the standings. Plainview is ranked the 3rd best team by the AP, and that's who Checotah has to play. So if they can beat that Plainview team, then they are set up, because if you look at the bracket, they are on the other side of the top 2 teams in 3A. Heritage Hall, Lincoln Christian, they're on the other side of the bracket. So you won't have to play, you only have to play one of those teams, and you won't have to play them until the finals in the state championship. So you have a good matchup being on this side of the field. Now you just got to go to Plainview and take care of business there. And if you can upset Plainview, then your road is set all the way to the state championship.
That's a tall order right there, because the fact of the matter is you're going to be on the road, and not only that, on the road versus a very, very tough opponent. So Checotah needs to rest up, heal up, and get in the film room and get to practice, because they got a very, very difficult game on their hands next week.
And we're going to have a great game on our hands next week, as we will be back for one more week. You can't get rid of us that easy. We're going to have a fantastic game here on the Bravado Wireless Game of the Week. 2nd round of playoff action. As we said, there's only 8 teams left in 3A, 8 teams left in 4A. We're going to have to see where we go. It's kind of like a college game day theme there. We don't know quite yet where we're going.
Definitely.
But for all of our Bravado Wireless crew, everybody working a camera or audio down there, it was a fantastic night. We want to thank all of them. We want to thank you for joining us, and for Dion and Made, our entire Bravado Wireless crew. I'm Seth Gamble saying so long, and we'll see you back here next week.
You are called to be bold, to live out loud, to make the most out of every moment. You share these moments with your friends and family, side by side, across town and across the world. We are Bravado Wireless. We believe in the power of connection, coverage, speed, service, the latest technology. These aren't options. They're not special offers. They are obligations to you. We believe in building a community, your community. Bravado Wireless.